All right, we're ready to go. Boise State will kick it off to start the game. The Broncos won the toss, deferred to the second half.
And just staying with exactly strategically what they've done all season, PJ. Defer to the second half, let the defense set the stone, let them set the stage, and then if things go well, you get the ball back. If things don't go well, you get the ball back to start the second half and start fresh.
All right, the kickoff brought to you by bodybuilding.com. Kick off a new you at bodybuilding.com, where you'll find all your need to succeed with your weight loss goals. Fine folks there at bodybuilding.com. Boise State will kick it off. The kick returners, Reggie Smith and Alan Patrick. Joaquin Iglesias also back. He has it at the tree up to the 10, the 15, and knocked down across the 20 at about the 23-yard line.
You can tell our Idaho camera binoculars are going to get working into overtime today. As Paul J. mentioned to you earlier, we are literally in the end zone, and this was as far away as possible as we can see. And right now, we'll have to be patient in giving you your down and distances so that we make sure we're accurate from this angle. But for Oklahoma, they want to get off, I'm sure, on the ground and get Mr. Adrian Peterson going AD.
Absolutely ready to go. Paul Thompson, the quarterback, calling signals. Hands it off. And Peterson knocked down Adrian Peterson after a very short game.
Kyle Ging did his best at avoiding the block of Brandon Walker, the right offensive guard. Did a great job in reading it, going around the block, and then diving at the feet of Adrian Peterson, who was limited to a very, very short game.
Second down, about 8 yards to go.
AP averages about 5.5 yards per carry, Paul J.
He is not in the backfield now as he is out. Alan Patrick in at tailback. Calling signals is Thompson. Hands it off to Patrick. No, it's a give on the reverse up to the 35 and knocked down around the 40-yard line, close to the first down, is Adrian Peterson, who lined up in the slot on the left side.
Probably not where you'd expect to see the greatest tailback in the history of Oklahoma. Spread out left.
And so he was, and he has the carry.
That's all you need is Adrian Peterson running with another 15 yards of momentum. It's bad enough when he's running between the tackles with 7 yards.
And it is a first down at the 40-yard line. Man in motion. That's Kelly. There's the pitch back to Peterson, and first 3 carries belong to AP. He's knocked down at the 41.
Great job by Gerald Alexander, who stepped up and really laid a blow on Adrian Peterson, who's just getting up a little bit slower than normal. It was a great hit by Alexander. Already a Bronco limping out of the game, Paul J. We'll see exactly. It looks like Kyle Ging may have just twisted his ankle.
It is.
So he'll get some rest, and David Shields will go in. One other surprise, Paul, already is Joe Bozikovich. He is playing at the nose guard position as Dennis Ellis has not started this game.
Calling signals Thompson, second down and 8. Back to pass, fires his first pass, incomplete. And it was bobbled and dropped on the far side of the field by Johnson, and it'll be third down and long.
Great job by Kyle Wilson, who completely defeated the wide receiver Joaquin Iglesias in a open field block and just made a nice play.
So it'll be third down and about 8 yards to go. Spread offense now. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Thompson, the quarterback, from the shotgun. It's noisy in here. Now walks up under center, looks back over toward his coach. This is a weird thing here, huh? Bronco fans making a lot of noise, and now they change the play at the line of scrimmage. Thompson calling signals, gets the snap off in time, back to pass, deep drop, fires, incomplete. Closest man was Corey Hall of Boise State.
Ball completely slipped out of his hand, Paul J. Thompson was completely confused. Boise State showed about 6 guys at the line of scrimmage, ultimately dropping them off and only rushing 3. Thompson had to go from checking to the sideline to his wristband and then back to the line of scrimmage and talking to his offensive guards. That was a lot of work for him to go through.
It certainly was. All right, we're going to go down to Todd Miles after the punt. Padman back to return. Boy, it's smoky in here. Hope Marty can see the ball. Short kick, takes it on the run at the 25, knocked down at the 28. Let's go down to our Bronco Motors Hyundai Nissan sideline reporter, Todd Miles. Todd?
Guys, I think it's important just for Boise State to let Oklahoma know that they're not one bit intimidated. And you guys talked about Iglesias, him and Gerald Alexander jaw to jaw after that second down play. And Boise State trying to deliver a message. I don't care if you're Oklahoma or not, you're not going to do anything to us.
All right, Broncos have it for the first time this afternoon. First down, line of scrimmage, the Bronco 29.
Boy, they may have to rethink this whole fireworks entry.
Yeah, it's smoky in here. Calling signals, Jared Zabransky. Back to pass on first down, rolling out, cutting upfield across the 30 and knocked down at the 35, a gain of 7.
Just what the coaches wanted. Get Z involved in the game, fake the handoff to Ian Johnson going way off of the right tackle, and then give him a run-pass option, and Z pulled it down, got himself a nice gain of 5 yards, and Ian Johnson ended up about 15 yards downfield just blocking.
It is closer to 5 yards than 7. We'll call it a long 6. Zabransky offset I formation. Tailback is Ian Johnson. Broncos shift out of the I into a single setback position. The handoff to IJ. And he's across the 35 up to the 37. Close to a first down. Looks to be about a yard short. First quarter action. 11:33 left to go here in the Fiesta Bowl. Boise State on their opening drive of the game.
What you want from BSU, though, right? A 3 and out, and now you've got yourself a 3rd and short. A lot of options. Now do you go with power football and go mano-a-mano? I mean, do you go heavyweight on heavyweight and say, you want to deliver a message about punching people in the mouth? This is what it's all about.
All right, Brad Lau in there at fullback. Ian is the tailback. Z calling signals. Hands it off. IJ, first down at the 40-yard line. Boise State keeps the drive alive.
Ian Johnson just powering off the right tackle for BSU and absolutely dragging Zach Latimer with him for a few yards. Boise State breaking the huddle, Paul J., coming quickly to the line of scrimmage. Typically has been a quarterback sneak for Zabransky. They were patient, and they handed it to Ian right off of the right tackle. And, of course, Psycho Woodruff did his job.
All right, it'll be 1st and 10. Boise State at their own 40-yard line. Zabransky calling signals, offset I. Now they shift the fullback from the right side to the left side. Back to pass. Zabransky has time. Firing. He's got the knee. All alone. Threw it out of bounds. Incomplete.
Great call. Reggie Smith, the strong safety for Oklahoma, coming on a blitz. Z knows the situation. Z may be a little cautious with that throw. Way over his head and Lindy Holmes, who was in coverage, and it was nowhere near going to be complete.
First quarter brought to you by Burger King. Have it your way. Holmes that time to the center of the field. The ball was thrown off the other shoulder of Nene and out of bounds. 2nd down at 10. Noisy place. Noisy and smoky. Man in motion. Calling signals Zabransky from the shotgun. Back to pass. Has time. Dumps it off over the middle. Complete. Short gain to the 44. Ian Johnson on a catch for Boise State.
Well, what's most exciting to me about that possession right there, Paul J., is that gives Brian Harsin the confidence that you can get into a 7-drop passing game right now. There was not that much pressure on Jared Zabransky. He could have tied his shoes before he threw that football, and the coaches are fired up to see that. As Kyle Ging gets carted off, we'll have to get an injury update from Todd Miles about that.
2nd time he has left the game.
Well, he's off now for a while. He's going out in the cart.
He's in the cart. Looks like an ankle. Sitting up, but leaving the field. 3rd down, big play. 3rd and 6. Zabransky back to pass. Got a man out there. No! Yes! It's caught, and it's a first down, I believe, if they give him his forward progress. Derek Shulman. Ball went way up in the air. Came down with it now. It depends on where he had the possession. The only one of those that's working is in ESPN radio. None of the other ones are working.
We'll get this fired up, but Derek Shulman essentially batted the ball to himself, caught it, and now it's going to be up to the mark and see what they do. It looks like they're already going to give it to BSU.
So I believe it will be a first down. Boise State Out of the huddle, 1st and 10, right at midfield. And now we have a timeout called.
Look at the bunch formation, though. Ryan Clady, Derek Schumann, Andrew Woodworth, and
on the left,
Gerard Rabb all over to the left as Boise State was trying to fool Oklahoma.
Forward progress spot for the first down.
Got a coach's challenge by Bob Stoops, who said there shouldn't have been a first down for Boise State.
You know, I've heard it now commented on plenty of times that every play is reviewed.
Yeah.
And the coaches are going to drop this whole challenge system because it's not needed. Every play is reviewed.
Every single play
there
is
reviewed. There is no need to do it. And if they do reverse it, it's because what they want to do already.
But Stoops challenged this time. He threw the red hanky out. And now they're back already, I think.
No, they're all taking a break.
All right, timeout on the field. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more Bronco football on the All-State Bronco Sports Network. All right, still waiting for a decision here. This Fiesta Bowl broadcast brought to you by Syringa Bank. Expertise, integrity, value, and it's local. All right, still awaiting.
Following the review, the play stands as called.
Yes, first down, Boise State. All right, Bob Stoops.
Oklahoma.
Who is no fan of referees.
He loses a timeout.
Well, yeah, and they're not going to his Christmas party. He's just trying to send a message that you guys are blowing stuff.
He kicked it up in the air, caught it, and crosses the 50 right there, and then is pushed back. You can see it clearly. So Stoops loses a timeout. He's down to 2. Broncos.
Well,
so much for that formation we had momentarily.
Exactly, they showed it for nothing.
Yeah. Schumann is at fullback. He'll shift out to tight end. There he goes. Zabransky calling signals. Putnam now in motion. Z hands it off. No, he still has it. Back to pass. Got a man wide open. Could be a touchdown. It's Bryson James. He's at the 5. He's in for the score. And the Broncos lead in the Fiesta Bowl 6-0. Boise State. Oh, what a call that was. They caught him in a coverage or lack thereof. And now we got it. And
what a great play fake by Jared Zabransky, who faked the handoff and then twirled around. Nobody could see the ball, including the Oklahoma defenders, who bit on the play action pass, and it ended up in a beautiful throw in a wide open Bryson James down the right side of the sideline.
6-7 yards
absolutely open. Marcus Walker nowhere to be found. Possibly the best corner in the Big 12. Beat for 6 early in the first quarter.
PAT, kick is up, it's good. 9:06 left to go in the first quarter. Boise State 7, Oklahoma nothing on the Bronco Sports Network.
9 minutes and 6 seconds to go. 7-0 Boise State in the first quarter on the All-State Bronco Sports Network. Every time BSU scores a touchdown, Del Taco provides $100 to the Northwest Children's Home. Because of the success the Broncos have had this year, Del Taco has donated $7,000 to local Treasure Valley charities. Del Taco on Broadway, minutes from Bronco Stadium, open 24 hours every day.
7-play drive, took 71 yards, 3 minutes and 31 seconds. Touchdown pass. 49 yards to Legadou Nane. Brought to you by Access Heating and Air Conditioning. That's your scoring drive recap. Let's go down to Todd Miles, our sideline microphone guy. Brought to you by Bronco Motors Hyundai. Todd.
Hey, yeah, on defense, just so you guys know, Kyle Ging has been taken to the locker room to get x-rays on his ankle. I would say right now he is possible. So,
all right, he was carted off, so possible is the deal. David Shields will be in there. Here's the kickoff. Long kick. Iglesias at the 10. Running laterally, hit at the 11 and dropped down. Very good.
All right, the key for Boise State, we said all week, and everybody said for 40 days, was that they needed to maintain their poise, take Oklahoma's best blows, and adjust to the speed of the game. Well, guess what? Now the roles are reversed. Oklahoma's having the game brought to them. They are now on their own 12-yard line. The momentum decidedly in Boise State's favor. And on the first series, they looked extremely confused on defense. They're going to have to adjust. Offensively, I would anticipate them to give Boise State a heavy dose of AP.
right, here we go. First down. Line of scrimmage is about the 13. Thompson, the quarterback, calling signals. Back to pass. Broncos rushing him. He's hit and dropped. And he might have fumbled. Ball is loose. And Boise State has it. The Broncos have recovered a fumble. They knocked it away from Peterson as he tried to scramble back upfield, or from Thompson rather, and he lost the ball. And the Broncos have it first and goal at the 9-yard line. Turnover.
And short field, which is exactly what the doctor ordered. Early momentum. And as much as Oklahoma has been up with double-digit leads, now they may have to fight back.
Corey Hall knocked it loose. Andrew Browning recovered it.
Dennis Ellis also did a great job. And look at Mike T. Williams, who came in.
Oh, it was T. Got a hand on it.
Stripped the ball from Thompson. BSU now recovers, and they have a first and goal situation on Oklahoma's 9 with 8 minutes and 15 seconds to go.
Broncos trying to shock the world here in Glendale, Arizona, calling signals. Jared Zabransky at the 9. Hands it off to Ian Johnson. Dances inside the 5 to the 2. Wow, that was quick for Ian.
Great hold, tremendous patience by Ian Johnson, who didn't get carried away by trying to hit everything too soon. That's not unusual for a guy to get amped up and try to hit everything very quickly. You'd have to credit Ian Johnson right there for following his intuition and picking up 7 yards. And Oklahoma's very lucky he did not walk in.
Zabransky behind center. Ian is the tailback. Z calling signals. Hands it off to IJ. Touchdown, Boise State. And Johnson is in the end zone. And the Broncos lead by a score of 13-0.
We said that Bob Stoops has had double-digit leads almost 80 to 90% of the time. I wonder how many times they've been down double digits in the first quarter and come back to win a football game.
Well, we'll try to find that out. On to try the extra point, the left-footed Anthony Montgomery. Kick is up, it is good.
Every time BSU scores, Del Taco puts $100 to the Northwest Children's Home. Because of the success, Broncos have put over $7,000 to the charities. Del Taco open 24 hours every day.
14-0 Boise State on the All-State Broncos Sports Network. Broncos, a two-play 9-yard drive, took 50 seconds. A 2-yard touchdown run by Ian Johnson. Our Access Heating and Air Conditioning scoring drive recap. Your access to total comfort, locally owned and operated. Boise State with 80 total yards, 11 for Oklahoma. Broncos shockingly lead 14-0 here with 7:28 left to go in the first quarter.
As we scramble to find out how often Oklahoma's come back from down 2 touchdowns. I can tell you, in talking to Justin Wilcox, BSU's defensive coordinator, that's exactly where they want Oklahoma, because they are not a throw-from-behind team. Charles Thompson is not exactly comfortable having to go back in there and try to get them back in this football game through the air. Now Boise State can play pass. I guess for Oklahoma, they're lucky it's early in the game. They can still take their time.
Yep. Broncos ready to kick it off. Oklahoma on their heels. A kick by Montgomery. Oh, it's a short one. Picked up by Johnson, and he's hit and down at the 18-yard line. Reggie Smith knocked down by Iafalo. And, boy, great coverage on what wasn't a great kick by Boise State.
I think strategically, though, it was a waffle kick trying to get Oklahoma to, again, do something out of the ordinary. Make sure they're disciplined in following the bouncing ball, getting them out of rhythm. Once Boise State gets you flustered, they love to continue to nitpick at you until you get very, very frustrated, and then they usually knock you out.
Paul Thompson, the quarterback, calling signals. Single setback is Adrian Peterson. The pitch to him. Running wide, hit at the line of scrimmage, knocked down at the 20, a gain of 1.
David Shields with an unbelievable somersault move, pulling up and just absolutely leveling the defender in front of him, George Robinson, our Gold's Gym child of the game, and knocked down Adrian Peterson, who didn't expect that. A great play by Shields, who has to take a lot of snaps now for Kyle Ging. Great read by Shields.
2nd down and 8. Calling signals. Thompson, this time from the shotgun. Back to pass. Fires. Got a man open. Complete at the 20. Breaks the tackle out to the 25. Knocked down at the 30-yard line.
Adrian Peterson again in the backfield, not only as a running weapon, but proving that he can catch the ball as well. Colt Brooks missing him in the open field, giving Peterson some more room. Unfortunately for Boise State, they had him contained, but Peterson, showing tremendous leg strength, was able to push himself downfield and get a first down, Oklahoma.
First down, 10 yards to go. Line of scrimmage is the 28. Boy, nothing works here for as nice a place as this is. Out of the huddle comes Oklahoma, except for the Boise State offense. Paul Thompson calling signals. Man in motion. Thompson. Back to pass. Sets up, has time, breaks down now, running for his life. He's out to the 35, turns it up nicely across the 40, and knocked down at the 45. First down, Oklahoma. Nice run by Paul Thompson. And he does that all the time.
Yeah, and I'd still think it's a moral victory because Thompson is proving he's not comfortable. He's dropping back, he's looking for receivers, and they're not there, and he's taken off. So Justin Wilcox is going to give him another dose of that coverage and see if he can figure it out, and then hopefully Boise State's interior tackles, Andrew Browning and Dennis Ellis, will be able to converge and make that happen.
First down, Oklahoma, and line of scrimmage is the OU 43. Man in motion. Back to pass. Penalty flag is down. This one will be called back.
Phillip Edwards, by the way, in right now for Dennis Ellis. Boise State going with a defensive line rotation to keep them fresh.
72 offense. 5-yard penalty.
So they got motion on
George Robinson,
the big left guard for the University of Oklahoma. They'll have a first down and 15.
Oklahoma's really had to put their offensive line together patchwork-wise. The first 3 or 4 games of the year, they weren't on all cylinders, and they really closed strong and came together as a group. That was a concern early in the year with the injuries.
5:37 left to go here in the first quarter. 14-0 Boise State over the University of Oklahoma. High formation, Patrick now the tailback. Calling signals is Thompson. Hands it off. Patrick, and his short yardage might have fumbled the ball. He's knocked down at the 40. Oklahoma ball after no gain.
Boy, Corey Hall and Andrew Browning just holding the point of attack and physically starting to challenge Oklahoma in the backfield. A tremendous job in getting penetration by Boise State's defensive line. Phillip Edwards showing that this kid's the future for BSU at defensive tackle, making tremendous impact in the interior line.
Yep.
2nd and 14 is not where Oklahoma wants to be.
Paul Thompson calling signals. Man in motion is Adrian Peterson. They fake it to him. Thompson rolling out, being chased, fires, almost intercepted, and Iglesias caught it, and it's a good catch at the Bronco 48.
Kyle Wilson went for the pot of gold, and he would have been going down the sideline, but just was one step short, and Iglesias ended up with the ball. It didn't convert for a first down. It still sets them up for a decent third down opportunity.
It is a third down. It's about a yard short. It's really hard for us to see. We are sitting in the end zone looking upfield, if you will.
About third one.
Third down, a yard and a half, maybe 2 to go. Big play here. Thompson calling signals. High formation. There's the deep pitch. Thompson, or Adrian Peterson, and he has the first down at the 46.
Great job.
Well, wait a minute. We're not sure he's got it. We'll have to see where they spot the football. First down.
A great job by Mike T. Williams, also holding up on the interior line for Boise State. These kids are showing that they're willing to step up and deliver some blows early in this game.
14-0 Boise State. In the backfield now, Alan Patrick, who has done a yeoman's job in the absence of Adrian Peterson. Paul Thompson calling signals. High snap, hands it off. Patrick running along the line of scrimmage inside the 45, gets about 3 down to about the 42. Boise State playing well on defense.
It's exactly what you want Oklahoma to do, though, is earn it all the way down the field. especially when they're down 2 scores. So BSU is able to kind of find out exactly how Oklahoma wants to attack them, and a lot of it is to Boise State's defensive right, where Mike G. Williams and T. Williams are taking a lot of snaps. It's T. Williams so far that's really at the point of attack, Paul.
All right, big second down play. Second down, about 6. Thompson looks over, checks with his offensive coaches. Now changes the play at the line of scrimmage. Back to pass. No, yes. Fires downfield. Got a man out there. Broncos recover. The pass is incomplete. Boy, great closing by Orlando Scandrick and Marty Tadman. Knocked the ball away from number 4, Jonathan Nelson.
Boy, you got to credit, though, Thompson, who checked out of the play when he saw Malcolm Kelly in one-on-one coverage. If that ball had been thrown where it should be, Marty Tadman was sucked up, Orlando Scandrick was nowhere to be found, and Malcolm Kelly really could have had 6.
That was Malcolm Kelly. They have 2 number 4s on Oklahoma. The other one's a DB.
3rd and 5.
Big play here. 3rd down and 6 yards to go from the 41. Thompson again. Check signals. Broncos dig in defensively. 5 seconds on the play clock. He better hurry. Got it off in time. Back to pass. Thompson fires over the middle. Caught. And it's a first down by Iglesias at the Bronco 22. Nice pattern run by Iglesias as he came up with a catch.
Really gutsy call, too, by Oklahoma in their pass protection. They just chose to go with 5 offensive linemen on 4 Boise State defensive linemen. And I'm sure Wilcox, if he headed back, would have said, maybe I should have blitzed. We had him outnumbered. Great job by Thompson finding the open man in the middle of the field.
Biggest drive so far for Oklahoma. They have a first down on the Boise State 22-yard line. Broncos lead 14-0. Stretch handoff. Adrian Peterson breaks a tackle and is knocked down at the 16 with a gain of about 5.
Got to credit Marty Tadman for meeting Adrian Peterson head on and then holding on to his leg as he was going backwards and coming up with a stop.
Patrick back in now for Adrian Peterson as they play Chinese checkers here with the running backs.
10 runs, 6 passes for Oklahoma and 16 snaps.
Second down, about 4. There's a deep pitch to Patrick, and he has got the first down at the 11. So Oklahoma now threatening at the Boise State 11-yard line.
They've run the ball well on this series, and I'm sure they're counting on that attack to loosen up Boise State for the pass game.
Broncos 14, Oklahoma nothing. But Oklahoma knocking on the door here with a first down at the 11. Broncos drove it once, 71 yards, and then had a 9-yard drive after a fumble recovery. Out of the huddle comes Oklahoma at the Boise State 11-yard line. Thompson calling signals, man in motion. That's the tight end. There's the pitch. Patrick with a ball inside the 10. Boy, he almost lost it there. The ball knocked away, but he was down by contact at the 8.
Well, there's a reason they fumbled 23 times.
Oh, did you see the way he carried it that time?
It's interesting, though, that they're in the red zone area now, certainly in Adrian Peterson's scoring territory, and he now reemerges in the game. But I think they're definitely making sure that he's got his legs and his wind.
And, you know, not a lot of upper body work can be done when you have a broken collarbone, so we don't know how strong he is in the shoulder area either, but he's in there now.
If I'm ready to find out, I'd be willing to bet.
I believe so. Second down, 7 yards to go for the first down, 8 yards for the touchdown. Thompson, play action, back to pass, fires incomplete, penalty flag down. Pass interference going to be called on Quentin. No, that's not Quentin either.
Kyle Wilson.
It's Kyle Wilson.
That's all day long. You get Mountain Kelly at 6'4", and Kyle Wilson 5'10". They're going to check out of it and throw that slant all day long.
Save the touchdown, though, with the penalties.
I think, again, they're making him earn it. They're making him take it down the field. It isn't a great defensive series for Boise State. The only positive thing is it's eating up the clock.
Interference, defense, number 22. By rule.
Crowd here doesn't like it.
At the 2-yard line.
We haven't seen a replay yet.
That was really pretty obvious.
Yeah, Kyle Wilson.
He was beat.
Was beaten by a bigger man and then fouled him to keep him from scoring a touchdown.
Anytime you are not...
Oh, there wasn't much there, though.
Well, you're not in between the man and the ball. and the ball is basically going to be caught because you're on the outside looking in. So Kyle tried to come around and didn't get it done.
Out of the game comes Kyle Wilson. Broncos now jam up the interior as it's first and goal. Handoff. Adrian Peterson cuts way back at the 8, and he's dropped. Nice play. Gerald Alexander got him.
Great job by Marty Tadman, who forced the action in the backfield and avoid the block of Joe John Finley, the tight end. All 6'6", 260 pounds of him. Marty Tadman piled him up in the backfield so that you could get a great play from Gerald Alexander.
Loss of 4.
And Adrian Peterson has to be saying, hey, usually I go sideline to sideline and I can outrun anybody.
Not that time.
And he tried to straight arm Alexander and it didn't work.
Second down and goal from the 8. Patrick now in at running back, shotgun. Thompson calling signals. Back to pass, fires, caught, touchdown. That was Manuel Johnson who made the catch as the Broncos played a little bit soft on him, and he was wide open in the end zone.
They had Kyle Wilson just completely confused. Completely. It was not a very rough series for Kyle Wilson, a young kid, and if you're going to go after somebody, why not go after a freshman?
Well, they are, and it's working so far. So Paul Thompson commands a pretty good drive that time for Oklahoma. 14-6 here, and just less than half a minute left here in the first quarter, 26 seconds. On to try the extra point, Garrett Hartley. Hartley's kick is up and good. And with 26 seconds left, let's see if they take a timeout here. They do not. Timeout on the field. The score 14-7. Boise State leads Oklahoma. We'll be back on the All-State Broncos Sports Network. All right, 82-yard touchdown drive for the University of Oklahoma with a touchdown pass to Manuel Johnson. Let's go down to Todd Miles, our Bronco Hyundai Nissan sideline reporter. Todd.
Fellas, in walkthrough yesterday, well, Fox Sports is carrying this, or Fox Network is, and it's the first time Boise State has played under that camera that hangs over the field.
Yeah.
They made a point of telling Zabransky during the signal session yesterday from the quarterbacks, hey, this thing's going to be hanging over your head. Don't let it distract you. You know, you haven't seen it before. It just kind of hangs right behind you. It's kind of confusing. He just did the fake turn and smile and wave at it, and then they went back to their signals.
Yeah, I saw when he rolled out a minute ago, it looked like the camera was chasing him.
Yeah, it's kind of a neat little thing, but it just moves around kind of like a spider across the field.
And we are back once again, ready for the kickoff from Oklahoma. Good kick. Taken by Orlando Skandrick. Rashawn Scott, I'm sorry, across the 10 up to the 16 and knocked down at the 17-yard line. And it will be first down, Boise State.
Interesting choice by Scott to try to make something happen, and it didn't exactly work out. I think the turnover was the risk there.
Didn't quite get there, yeah.
You get the ball on the 18-yard line, but you also potentially fumble as this first quarter comes to an end. We'll tell you when we come back after the break how Oklahoma has done this year after they've been losing after one quarter of play. We'll get to that.
All right, you're listening to Boise State football, the Fiesta Bowl. The Broncos 14, Oklahoma 7, after 1 on the All-State Broncos Sports Network. We are back once again. The first quarter is history, and Boise State leads by a score of 14-7. And the second quarter,
Oklahoma at the end of the first quarter is losing 14-7. When the opponent has scored first against Oklahoma this season, they are 3-2. If Boise State has led, they are only 1-2. So Boise State right now in a pretty good position. Oklahoma has struggled coming back there. After the first quarter, they're not used to being behind.
Second quarter brought to you by Burger King. Have it your way at Burger King. Well, it's been a good first quarter for Boise State. The Broncos on the lead, and they would like to add to it here. And you said it. It's a critical drive now for Boise State because the Broncos took advantage of the turnover after a 71-yard drive And Boise State would now like to come back and prove that they can drive it again. First down at the 18. Zabransky calling signals. Back to pass, sets up, has time, dumps it off, caught by Ian Johnson, and he is dropped for no gain. Might have got a yard.
It's a great play.
Coverage that time.
Great play by Lindy Holmes, and nice patience by Jared Zabransky, who allowed all the noise from Oklahoma to come down on him. I'm very impressed with Jared's poise. A kid that had 5 turnovers against Georgia in the first quarter has basically just faced his biggest fear, kind of like a singer getting over that note early in the song. Now he is on to the game, and I think he's relaxed and a real asset.
Broncos actually lost a yard on the completion. Second down and 11. Zabransky calling signals. Back to pass. Sets up. Has time. Fires downfield. Caught at the 35 by Nene, and he's knocked down there, and the Broncos have a first down. Good play.
Brian Harsin loved the matchup with Legadou Nene on anybody, any of the defensive backs from Oklahoma, because of the athleticism of L.A. When you're 6'2", 230, you can get separation on guys that are, being outweighed by 30 pounds. And Legadou's got some speed to go with it. Huge for the field position battle, Paul J. If they don't score or do anything else on this drive, at least Oklahoma's going to be in a disadvantageous field position.
First down, Zabransky hands it off. Ian Johnson, big hole. He's the 40, the 45, the 50, and has a first down inside Oklahoma territory at the 48-yard line. Nice run by IJ.
Loosen him up with the pass and then counter with Ian Johnson, who's one of the better running backs in the country, and somewhere deep down, I'm sure he wants to prove it. Great blocking at the point of attack along the right side. Again, Jeff Cavender and Andrew Woodworth doing their part to make IJ float down the field. First and 10, Boise State.
First down, Broncos at the Oklahoma 48-yard line. Good drive underway again by the Broncos. Johnson remains in as the single setback, calling signals. Zabransky sets a man in motion. That's Dryson James. Z hands it off to Johnson, and nothing there. Knocked down at the line of scrimmage. Boy, and Dryson James.
Well, Z didn't like the stack to his right. He knew that they were going to get outnumbered, and it didn't look pretty. And then C.J. Ayu made sure it got real ugly as he made a great play on the ball and just came flying off the edge and destroyed the play.
Bryson James, Lindy Holmes mixing it up a little bit after the play was over. No flag.
I used the kid that went to Snow College, Paul J. Remember? He was the one that almost came here.
Yeah, he came and visited Boise State with Alex Guerrero. Vinny Peretta now in at tailback for Boise State, calling signals. That's Zabransky. Zabransky back to pass, dumps it off to Peretta, trying to get to the outside, breaks a tackle, still in bounds, inside the 50, and stepped out at the 46, so maybe a yard is all.
Yeah, a couple of yards. It's just another way to try to get somebody on the edge, let him forget about Vinny Peretta, his first time in the game, and then throw a little swing pass out to him and try to get Oklahoma going way upfield and then sneak Vinny in behind him. Did not work. They did not bite. And for Vinny, though, hey, first play in the game, at least in a critical position, and he made a play. For 3rd and 7, though, we'll see what kind of noise Oklahoma brings. They love to blitz in this situation, Paul.
All right, 3rd down, big play here. Zabransky with a no-back attack from the shotgun. In the slot is Schumann. Z back to pass, sets up, fires, got a man open, he overshot him, incomplete. That was Vinny Peretta on the far side of the field. The pass way high. He might have been throwing that one away.
I think it was a complete miscommunication between Vinny and Z. I don't think that pattern was exactly what Jared was expecting out of Peretta. The play just had no timing to it. It's lucky it wasn't picked off.
On the replay, looks like he may have had trouble with his set foot and fired the ball incomplete.
And Oklahoma dropped 8 guys into coverage, Paul, and they have not shown much of that. That's sort of a sign of respect that they want to drop some guys back and gives you a little time to find people.
Kyle Stringer on for the Broncos' first punt. Angling for the sideline. It's caught, fair catch at the 15. Well, that Lindy Holmes likes to mix it up. This time he's mixing it up with another Bronco on the near sideline. Let's go down to our Bronco Motors Hyundai sideline reporter, Todd Miles. Todd?
Fellas, the defense was a little underhanded in the first quarter as Dennis Ellis didn't play. He's returned. You see him out on the floor right now, or out on the field right now. It's Dennis's standard 1 quarter off per game.
Yeah, he seems to think that a lot.
Wow. Well, you got to hand it to the other kids. As Todd pointed out, he's putting in 3 quarters of effort, so he's just all the way down to the bowl game. They're showing him some discipline love, trying to make him do the right things, and everybody else has to step up around him just that much harder, and the future is being shown with Phillip Edwards taking a lot of snaps in Dennis Ellis' spot.
That's another Geico timeout. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Visit them at geico.com.
Bezikovic also getting some snaps in for Ellis, so interesting first quarter for BSU, and a nice drive, really. I know that the plays to Peretta didn't work out, but still some confidence is being built when they know they can get success. That's what's really critical to Brian Harsin and the decisions that he has to make as this game unfolds. What worked? Legadou Nunez has worked. Legadou's had some pretty good catches and runs, and they're going to like that more and more. Ian Johnson's gotten off and has gotten some good runs. That's got to be encouraging for BSU. All of these things build confidence, and they go into a bigger package, and when they come back with their play calls, they'll call on those kinds of things at critical situations.
So the Broncos holding on to a 14-7 lead with 12:47 left to go here in the first half. And Oklahoma now will try to drive and tie up the ball game. Broncos not with a bad drive that time. They put some yardage behind them, got a couple of first downs, moved the ball into Oklahoma territory.
Well, BSU really 7 rushes for 36 yards so far on the evening. Z, 6 of 8 for 81, extremely efficient. Boise State overall, 15 snaps for 117 yards. You know, that's 10 yards to play. That's not bad.
Nope. Oklahoma back on. Adrian Peterson is the single setback. Paul Thompson, the quarterback, calling signals.
Well, you'd think they'd want to get Peterson just more involved in the game, but for some reason it's not there. And Thompson's throwing the ball a lot more than I think we anticipated, throwing it 7 times.
Well, Boise State basically has forced that.
And they've done it with 6 and 7 guys, which is what they wanted, so they didn't have to commit any more.
All right, Thompson back to pass, rolling out, gets a block from Peterson, fires upfield, nice catch at the 25, close to the first down for Manuel Johnson, and it looks like he might be about a half a yard short.
Thompson's got a little bit of grass stain going on the back of his jersey, which is what you don't want to see on a quarterback. So he's had a little bit of a rough first quarter just getting woken up, but he's still very efficient. He's a cool customer. I still think Boise State is happy that Oklahoma feels like they have to throw the ball right now to get any momentum going.
Peterson averaging only 2.7 yards a carry, 7 carries, 19 yards. Very short. Back to pass, fires, complete, first down, and that was caught by big number 45, Dane Zaslaw, the fullback, and he picks up the first down.
Doesn't really get many passes thrown his way, but in that situation made it pay. Oklahoma's just struggling running the ball. BSU has really played some smash mouth with them up front. They'll go back to try to establish it, especially after they get them trying to contain Boise State.
Please reset the game clock. 11:51.
And again,
11:51 on the game clock.
4 seconds on the clock. Right now it's at 11:47 to go in the half.
First down, 10 yards to go. Line of scrimmage, the 33-yard line in Oklahoma territory, 11:51 left. Peterson is the tailback. Balanced receivers, 2 to each side. Now one goes in motion, overloading the left. Hand off to AP. Pretty good yardage across the 35. Knocked down at the 42. Gain of 7. Best run of the night for Adrian Peterson.
Well, they like what they see off that left tackle. Chris Messner, the all-conference tackle, a 6'6", 280-pound kid. And he did clear himself a load of room there as Mike G. Williams was sent packing down to the interior and gave up the edge for a nice gain of 7 yards.
At the 41, it'll be second down and 3. High formation this time with the fullback in there. Peterson remains in the game. Thompson calling signals. Tight end in motion. Thompson back to pass, fires. The same pattern again, this time complete on the outside to Quentin Chaney. And he has a first down.
They're going to give that up, Boise State. They're going to give them that kind of a route again, make them earn it all the way downfield and execute. And right now, Thompson is just taking what the defense gives him, which isn't dictating. That's just taking what the defense gives them. So they're showing some patience at Oklahoma, willing to kind of grind it out with BSU, and I think that's a compliment. So Boise State, again, has to come up, I think, with a big play to kind of turn this around.
Yeah, first down, and Oklahoma now with one long drive behind him and another one ahead. Thompson back to pass, sets up. Here comes the rush, fires, got a man out there. Pass interference. Orlando Scandrick with a big bump that time. It looked like the pass could have been intercepted.
Just misread the ball.
Yeah, he did.
And Malcolm Kelly was wide over the middle of the field, and Orlando got too anxious. Hit him early, way early.
So Boise State starting to crack a little bit here in quarter number 2.
Pass interference, defense, number 8. 15-yard penalty.
And the Bronco fans are booing, but they shouldn't be.
No, it was wide open. It was just a simple post route for Kelly, and Orlando thought he had help in the middle with Marty Tadman, and he didn't. And there was just nobody there, and Orlando basically ran into him.
Yep. So a long penalty there down to the 33-yard line of Boise State. And everything going Oklahoma's way now, and there's a big momentum shift as Oklahoma driving for the tying score. Broncos need a big defensive play here. Thompson from the shotgun. Patrick in the backfield with him. High snap. Handoff. Not much. Patrick maybe a yard down to the 32.
Nice job by Dennis Ellis and Mike G. Williams, who played their responsibilities, stayed in their gaps, didn't get fooled, and Patrick could not juke them and ended up taking a loss. Mike G. countering a poor couple of snaps before with a nice one there. Oklahoma going no huddle now, trying to get momentum of their own, Paul J.
They are indeed. Second down. Back to pass. Thompson sets up, fires, got a man open in the end zone. Pass is intercepted by Boise State. Marty Tadman got the interception for the Broncos as he stepped in. The pass was in the air forever.
Terrible read by Thompson, who had to wait until basically he saw the sign that says I'm open. By that time, Marty Tadman came over and basically just came underneath the fly ball.
Second turnover now. Second turnover for Oklahoma. The Broncos back in business. 10:24 left to go in the first half. It is Boise State 14, Oklahoma 7 on the Allstate Broncos Sports Network. All right, we are back once again. Broadcast brought to you in part by Rehab Authority Physical Therapy. The first quarter stats. Broncos outgaining Oklahoma in the first quarter by 1, but now it's pretty close. Rehab Physical Therapy, the neck and back specialist, feel good again.
129 yards for Oklahoma so far on the evening, Paul J. 26 snaps, dominating the time of possession, 12:29. Boise State 15 snaps for 117 yards. Right now only 7 minutes with the ball, but 2 critical turnovers, halfway to what I think has to be a 4 total turnover game for BSU to get this victory.
All right, we'll be coming down to our sideline reporter Todd Miles after this play. Zabransky calling signals. Single setback is Johnson, man in motion. Z, long count. Hands it off to IJ. Waits, slips and falls, gets a couple of yards across the 20 up around the 22-yard line.
Like what I'm seeing out of Brian Harsin, who really has Lindy Holmes running all over the place, just following Boise State shifts in motion. Bob Stoops was very comfortable, and we'll see if he maintains that.
Let's go down to our Bronco Motors Hyundai Nissan sideline reporter, Todd Miles. Todd?
Guys, the defense has put in a lot of plays on those last 2 drives. I think important right here, Boise State moved the ball a little bit to give those guys a blow so it doesn't repeat that Liberty Bowl thing where they got real tired at the end of the game.
Good point.
No back attack here. Zabransky on second down, calling signal. Second down and 9. Z back to pass. Fires. Caught. Schumann at the 20. Breaks a couple of tackles and goes down at the 21-yard line for no gain. Maybe a yard. Schumann took about 3 hits that time before he went down, but the play well defensed by Oklahoma.
Hey, this second quarter is brought to you in part by A1 Fireplace. If you're getting a little cold at home, make sure you see A1 Fireplace and heat it up.
Well, our stat thing didn't work, so we got the website. Now the website's not working. Unbelievable. Out of the huddle comes Boise State. A big third down here. Gain of 2 on the pass to Schumann. 3rd down and 7. Zabransky calling signals. Lau in there at fullback. Schumann now goes into motion. Z back to pass. He's had time. Now the protection breaks down. He fires upfield. Sliding catch by James.
Nope.
No, he didn't get it. At the 38, the ball hit the ground. Let's see if the Broncos contest this a little bit. We'll try to get a replay here and see if he did indeed catch the ball. His back was to us, and we're looking up the field. And we'll have to see here. Oh, he hit the ground.
You know, nice job, though, by Jared Zabransky, who avoided the rush of C.J. Ayu right in his face.
Oh, not sure, Jeff.
I think it bounced him.
It looked like it hit on his arms, so we'll have to wait and see here.
Well, Z won't leave the field. That's sometimes a good sign, but now ultimately they're going to have to punt it away.
Yeah. Dominguez, the long snapper, comes in. I'm not sure that wasn't a catch. Looked like it might have bounced all right, but on his arms, we'd have to see yet another replay. Zabransky is trying to get him to change it, but they won't. Here comes the punt by Stringer. Oh, nice punt. Back inside the 30. Smith makes the catch. Reggie Smith at the 27. He's got some room. Across the 40 and knocked down finally at near midfield.
Big time athlete right there.
Reggie Smith there, first team all-conference in the Big 12. You know you can play. Timeout on the field. 8:25 left to go here in the first half. Boise State 14, Oklahoma 7 on the All-State Broncos Sports Network. All right, we are back once again. The line of scrimmage, the Oklahoma 48. It'll be first down and 10 yards to go for the Oklahoma Sooners. With 8:25 left to go in the first half, and Boise State up 14-7.
Look forward to talking to Dirk Cutter, the former Boise State head coach and Arizona State Sun Devil coach, about not only his future, but certainly how he breaks this down and talks about some adjustments or what things looked like they could be developed further from a play caller's perspective in the second half.
Oklahoma back on the field, ready to go. Patrick is the running back. Thompson the quarterback. Dennis Ellis suspended again for the first quarter. He seems to happen to Dennis a lot.
Well, it won't happen anymore after this game.
This be it.
He's done.
Thompson calling signals. Peterson in motion, a handoff to Patrick. Big hole. He's inside the 40, down to the 35. The 30 could go. Hit from behind and knocked down at the 20-yard line. Boy, a great run. And Colt Brooks tackled him. And now they're trying to get a penalty on Brooks, who stood up and knocked over a blocker.
Great fake also by Peterson, who faked the reverse, ran all the way downfield and made a big block. Boise State just caught totally out of position, and it really was
Good
Kyle
fake.
Wilson who missed the tackle in the open field. And again, it's coming back to hurt Boise State, that open field tackling.
Yeah, great fake by Paul Thompson on that handoff, too, as most people thought Peterson had the ball. AP now in at tailback. Thompson, the quarterback, calling signals. Man in motion. That's the big tight end. There's a handoff to Adrian Peterson, and he mashes his way inside the 20 down to about the 19, a gain of 3. Andrew Browning hit him first.
Peterson not finding his rhythm in the inside of the offensive line for Oklahoma. He's wanting to bounce a lot of things outside. I think he's just trying to find his place. They're using him as a decoy well, and I'm sure they're saving him up.
Second down, 6 yards to go. Thompson, the quarterback. Another nice drive here by Oklahoma. They're racking up the yards on Boise State, but the Broncos still lead 14-7. Handoff to Adrian Peterson. Nice tackle by Browning. Saved the touchdown. Got him at the 15.
Away as well, and Peterson just dragging him along for the ride. That's a lot of guy to be just throwing around 260 yards. They've talked so much about Peterson's strength. That's a decent example of it right there. Chance, though, for BSU to stiffen on 3rd and 2, PJ.
Yep, Patrick is in at tailback. Peterson not in a ball game at the moment. High formation, man in motion. There's a pitch back to Patrick. He's hit at the line of scrimmage. I don't think he made it. Knocked down at the 14. Looks to be about a yard short of the first down. Nice defense by Boise State.
Andrew Browning and, of course, Corey Hall right in the middle of that as they tried to run it right at BSU, and Allen didn't give much respect. Boise State suggesting it's 4th and short. Nobody's arguing with him, and Oklahoma's going for it. Adrian Peterson so far 9 carries, Paul J, 29 yards.
Oklahoma's
they're going for 3.
Kick.
Yeah.
Yep, they're going to try for a field goal, which will be in the neighborhood of 31, 32 yards. All right, Garrett Hartley will try to bring Oklahoma within 4. The kick is up, and it is good. So Oklahoma, the drive stalled a little bit. Some good defense by Boise State. 5:38 left to go. A Hartley 32-yard field goal has made the score Boise State 14, Oklahoma 10 on the Allstate Broncos Sports Network.
Welcome back to the Allstate Broncos Sports Network. 5 minutes and 38 seconds to go in the first half. Boise State leading right now 14-10 on Oklahoma. Just added a field goal from very short distance from Garrett Hartley to narrow the gap now to 4 points. BSU gets the ball back on offense for what could be the final drive of the first half.
Yeah, that would be an ideal situation if it was the final drive of the first half and culminated in 6 for 7 for Boise State.
And you can hear right now there'll be no moral victories. Boise State will just go into that halftime and say, you know what, I don't want to hear about that. We got to win this game, and here's how. And I'm sure Oklahoma conversely saying, we can't turn it over 2 more times, guy, or we won't be coming out on the top end of this game.
Broncos ran off the first 14 points. 5-play, 38-yard drive, used 247 on the field goal attempt.
BSU with only 120 yards of offense so far in the game, but very effective.
Yep, 167 for Oklahoma. Here's the kick. Taken in the end zone. On his way out, Quentin Jones up to the 15 and knocked down there. Jones caught it about 2 yards deep in the end zone. And the Broncos will start from their own 15.
Wow, it's just too bad. The return game just really hasn't been there, I think, for Boise State this year in both kick return and punt return. I think they're still looking for their rhythm there and that big play potential that Quentin gave them last year. Maybe it'll still give them a boost in the second half.
Zabransky 7 out of 10 for 83 yards and a touchdown. He is calling signals. Peretta is the tailback. Ian Johnson not in the ball game. Peretta now goes in motion. Z back to pass. Here comes the rush. Fires far side of the field, and boy, that was almost a touchdown going the other way. The pass intended for Nene, and it was jumped by Nick Harris, and Harris just missed an interception for a touchdown.
That was almost totally telegraphed statement by Jared Zabransky out to Legadou Nene, and I think if Harris had been more of a 6'3", 200-pound guy versus 6'3", 226, it'd have been 6 going the other way.
Yeah, he broke the pass up, though. Had he not touched it, Nene catches it, and he's gone. So, nearly a touchdown both ways on that play. 2nd down and 10. 5:02 left to go. Broncos want to get a couple of first downs, use up some clock here. Zabransky back to pass. Nope, it's a draw play, and boy, their penalty flag down. Looks like a hold against Boise State. Boy,
a delayed draw to Ian Johnson, though, cost him. C.J. Ayu just really laid a blow on Ian Johnson. And I thought Oklahoma either withdrawn off.
Offside, defense.
Offsides, Oklahoma.
Or jump.
So that'll be 5-yard penalty against Oklahoma. 2nd down and 5 now for Boise State.
Well, BSU really hasn't attacked Oklahoma on the ground, Paul J. Only 8 rushes for 37 yards. IJ really hasn't gotten an opportunity to show his stuff.
One of those runs by Jared Zabransky. Broncos out of the huddle. They are at the far end zone, basically, a long ways away from us. 2nd down and 5. Zabransky calling signals. Drops back, 3-step drop. Now fires, and the ball hits Putnam in the back as Putnam was blocking, not catching.
Well, Putnam thought that Z was going to turn it upfield and run. Z changed his mind, and when he turned to throw back to Putt in the middle of the field, he was in the blocking mode. So that was a missed opportunity there. You don't want to give Oklahoma the ball back at this point.
Not right now with all this time.
And you don't want to make a risky throw in the middle of the field. With a 3rd and 5, you can still get some things done on the edges. But Oklahoma probably starts looking at bringing some pressure on this play.
All right, look at this. The fullback is Nene. He goes in motion now. And it's Putnam. Benny Peretta now at the tail. Zabransky hit, gets away, and is sacked. Well, that didn't work too good as Oklahoma now really coming. And Boise State will have to punt it away after the 6-yard sack. Fourth down and 11.
That noise you hear is Roof. That is not a boo. That's Rufus Alexander. Their Big 12 all Big 12 Player of the Year. Yeah, that was it was a blitz that basically Lewis Baker gave Jared Zabransky no chance.
14-10 Boise State. Now Oklahoma will have a chance to drive for the lead touchdown here before halftime. Stringer in the end zone. Nice punt. Beautiful punt. Reggie Smith catches it out of bounds at the 35. Now that is a great kick by Boise State.
Woo.
That is a 50-yard kick with no return.
That's 85 yards in the air, though. He kicked it from the goal line. I never understood that. We always count punts from the line of scrimmage. I'm like, wait a minute, the guy's 15 yards back there. And he kicked it.
51-yard punt, no return. First down at the 35-yard line for Oklahoma. And the Sooners have 3:34 left to go here in the first half. Bronco lead is 14-10. Paul Thompson has him at the line of scrimmage. The running back is Adrian Peterson. Thompson back to pass. Sets up. Running now. Gets away from Bronco, running sideways. Penalty flag is down. Thompson goes out of bounds with a 5-yard gain, but we're going to have a hold as they held Mike T. Williams.
Tackled him basically in the backfield is probably more like it, and that's going to move this play back.
So a nice play by Mike Williams, which forced the hold by John Cooper, and it will be 1st and 20.
Well, Thompson's receiver fell down, so he didn't have an option there and started to scramble around.
50 on the offense, 10 yards, previous spot, still first down.
Clock down to 3:15, and they'll march off the infraction back down to the 25-yard line. Now the Broncos start thinking, let's get a stop here, get the ball back.
Malcolm Kelly not in the ball game for Oklahoma right now, and Fox making a little bit of a deal about that.
Looks like he's limping a little bit over there on the sideline.
Yeah, definitely a playmaker.
From the shotgun. Thompson rolling out. Broncos coming now with a throwback. It's dropped by the tight end. Oh, Finley dropped it. They threw it right to him. Joe John Finley. He thumbed it. That's all you can say.
Everybody was going the wrong direction, and
that
Finley
play would have
was
worked.
Wide open and tried to catch the ball with his thumbs. And that breeze, you feel, is the collective exhale of every Bronco fan in here.
Yep.
That play was wide open. Talk about all thumbs. 6'6" Joe Finley.
I tell you what, the tailback went right, the quarterback went right, the Broncos went right,
play went
and they
wrong.
threw back to the left, and it went wrong. 2nd down and 20. Thompson, see if the Broncos come here. Showing blitz. Here they come. Thompson back to pass, fires, nice catch. Johnson at the 35 gets 10 of it back. It'll be 3rd down and 10 for Oklahoma at their own 35.
We'll have to watch for Malcolm Kelly. There's got to be something wrong with him, because you would think he would be in the game in this situation.
One would think so.
We said earlier in the broadcast that kid, I think, will be the greatest wide receiver in the history of that school before it's all said and done. He's got all the records for his first 2 years. It's a major loss for Oklahoma.
3rd down and 9.
One more piece of adversity, though, for that team after losing their quarterback, losing their tailback, losing a tackle.
They've lost some people this year. through chicanery and injury.
That's where that lead for Boise State, if they can get Oklahoma into the passing mode, they've got to feel confident if Kelly's on the shelf.
Now Oklahoma calls timeout. Oklahoma completely discombobulated, and the play clock was about to run out with 2:21 left to go. Was down inside 4 seconds.
Boy, Quentin Chaney just giving Kyle Wilson a mouthful.
Yeah. Timeout on the field, but no timeout. So they're going to come back when they're ready. We will hold it here.
So Quentin Chaney looks like he's the guy getting the extra snaps. Malcolm Kelly not in. I know that Todd's working our sideline, but maybe somebody from Fox or somebody is going to find out why Malcolm Kelly's not getting any snaps.
Only 114 yards of total offense for Boise State, 178 for Oklahoma, but the Broncos scored on a 71-yard drive, got a turnover and punched it in, and got an early 14-0 lead.
Boy, 3rd and 9, you've got to really wonder right now. Bob Stoops is thinking, okay, we have thrown the ball really fairly effectively. We've had one pick, 8 of 13 though on the day, and they've thrown the ball for 90 yards basically, but fairly efficiently. Thompson's a smart kid.
Huge 3rd down here.
Yeah, you throw. They've been giving them everything on the other side of the hash.
Yep.
And we'll see if they give it to them again. They go shotgun. They're going for something longer.
Peterson is the setback. Thompson calling signals. 3rd down and 9. Back to pass. Sets up. Has time. Protection breaks down. Being chased. Running. Fires downfield. Incomplete. And Oklahoma will have to punt. Good defense that time for Boise State. We might have intentional grounding here.
I don't know. We've got a flag that was thrown right around Gerald Alexander. It looks like there's a little bit of John going on.
Oh, boy. If this gives Oklahoma a 1st down, this is bad.
Yeah, they're pushing players off, and they're wanting to make sure that the emotions stay out of it.
The officials are huddling right at the 40-yard line.
Looks like it's on Boise State if you believe Oklahoma's players.
Be a dead ball, personal foul maybe? Unsportsmanlike? We'll have to see.
Following the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, baiting. Charge to Boise State, number 8.
Orlando.
Number 9.
Offsetting.
Those penalties will offset.
Offsetting penalties, thank goodness. Orlando Skandrick looked like the culprit there for a while. And then a personal foul against Oklahoma evened it out, and Oklahoma will have to punt.
So Joaquin Iglesias responds to the baiting.
They've been going, watching him now.
It's called woofing, and then he headbutted him.
Headbutt.
So,
the headbutt was from Iglesias.
Yeah, so they called it on both of them.
Yep.
Or the fish and tackle call. I've never heard of baiting.
Yeah. All right, Tadman back to return the punt here. As it's 4th down and 9. Broncos coming after the punt off the corner. The kick is away, and it's a bad one.
Horrible. Bad
kick. Out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. So the Broncos will have it back with 2:05 left to go.
Not bad. 2:05 to go. You've got a couple of timeouts to be able to use. You got 3 of those. You got yourself a 1st and 10. Boise State has been able to throw the ball fairly effectively, but at the end of the day, Paul J., 114 yards of offense is nothing to write home about.
Nope, but 14-10 on top of Oklahoma is.
So it's interesting, isn't it, how efficient they've been with their possession.
Well, a 9-yard touchdown drive will help that. All right, here we go. Boise State back on the field. Looks like they're ready to go, no huddle. Zabransky, no back attack, calling signals. Now Ian Johnson back in at tail. There's the handoff. IJ, no, yes, and nothing. Very short yardage for Ian Johnson. That didn't fool anybody. He lined up in the slot, then shifted back to tailback.
Oklahoma's only given up 90 yards rushing for a reason. And right now, I think BSU is going to have to go to the air.
2nd down and 10. Back to pass. Zabransky has time. Fires. Got a man wide open. Rabb makes the catch. 1st down at the 47-yard line of Oklahoma. Boy, was he open.
Yeah, J-Rab found a soft spot in the zone and sat down in it, and the ball was basically lobbed out there. If it had a little more zip, maybe he could have turned and run.
1st down, Boise State. Clock shows 1:13 left to go. Zabransky from the shotgun. Johnson back there to block. And timeout taken by Boise State's coaches, apparently.
Timeout. Boise State. First team timeout.
Didn't like the formation that they were in with the personnel group on the field. Wide receivers coach Brent Pease not thrilled.
He was yelling something at Rapp. Not sure what. Timeout on the field. We will hold it here. 14-10 Broncos. 1:06 left to go.
BSU, PJ's got to get it down to about the 25-yard line, and because I think that pushes Montgomery's limits right there. He hasn't kicked anything longer than 40 yards that he's made.
He hasn't kicked anything longer than 39 yards for how long? Like the last 6-7 games.
It's not BSU's game, but definitely they'd like to turn this into at least a couple of first downs to get them. But
still, he's only missed one all year. So if they put him in there, they feel he can make it. Bronco kickers, I thought, Montgomery, especially on kickoffs, his kickoffs have been short here this afternoon.
Yeah, they seem to want to go more with a squib kick, waffle kick, anything to throw the timing of Oklahoma's return game off, because you never know when those balls bounce, where they're going to go, where they're going to land, and it makes everybody go a little slower to get under the ball or get in position to make a block, and it throws your return timing off.
Looking at Dirk Cutter, who will be our guest at halftime.
Yeah, Dirk will have some pretty good analysis,
Swapping
I'm sure.
Stories with Alan Noble down there on the field.
I don't think Dirk is going to be doing any network commentating. That's probably not in his future.
No, I don't think he favors the media much.
But he will be coaching quite soon.
Yes, I agree with that. All right, here we go. First down, Zabransky calling signals. Man in motion. That's Schumann. Z. Back to pass. Has time. Fires. Just overshot Legadoo Nene. Good call there, I thought.
Yeah, they caught Oklahoma again in a blitz package, bring in a strong safety. Boy, they are extremely aggressive in bringing some pressure on Jared, making him make the right calls.
That was the right call.
And he
missed it.
Just missed it. The outstretched arms of Legadoo Nene. I thought it was a play that could have been made, and Oklahoma also thought they should have intercepted it.
Nah, wasn't even close. On the ground in front of the safety. All right, here we go. Second down and 10. Again, Schumann in motion, and
Tad Miller dancing.
Yeah, he sure did.
Well, Oklahoma.
66, offense. 5-yard penalty. Still second down.
Oklahoma runs so many games up front. They're always twisting and stunting and using their quickness and speed. A lot of times your offensive guards are the guys that are responsible. They have to switch off, so they're very anxious to drop back and get their feet moving so they can pick up somebody that's slanting to one of their shoulders and so they can square up.
Second down and 15 for Boise State. The ball back in Bronco territory at about the 47-yard line. Zabransky drops back, has time, sets up, breaks down. This guy, he can run now. He's to the 50, the 45, and the 40. Whoa! And collared out of bounds at the 40, at the 37-yard line.
Derek Schumann ends up going after
that was a
defender.
Looked like he tackled him by his helmet.
Well, he pulled him on the back of the shoulder pads. Nick Harris pulled him down, and then I don't know how Derek Schumann ended up at the end of the play over there trying to get in on some of it, but it was a legal tackle. Just grabbed him in the back by the shirt collar.
Boy, he horse-collared him.
Yeah, Jared Zabransky got up. I mean, he was the one showing everybody that I'm fine. It looked worse than it was. The bottom line is it's
first down. First down at the 36. Broncos out of the huddle. They still have 54 seconds left to go. Boise State leading 14-10 here in the Fiesta Bowl as we're in the final minute of the first half. Ooh, look at this formation, the old T formation. Back to pass. Zabransky fires downfield, caught, and Rabb's trying to get out of bounds and does at the 26. Now it's a 43-yard field goal from here. The Broncos are within range.
I think they're now going to start throwing it into the end zone. They're going to look at their matchups. They picked on Marcus Walker earlier, the all Big 12 corner, perhaps the best corner in the Big 12. He's a 5'10", 200-pound junior, and we'll see who he gets lined up on.
Ian Johnson and Ryan Putnam coming back in the game for Boise State. Interesting formation last time, the old T. Now Lau comes back in.
Yeah, and
Rabb is out.
Legadoo comes out, and there's now a penalty. They're totally confused.
Broncos had 12 guys on the huddle.
Offense.
Yeah.
5-yard penalty. Still second down.
You know, push comes to shove, that penalty could hurt Boise State because it's now a 48-yard field goal.
That will upset people as much as anything possible.
Broncos showed a little bit of excitement there.
Just be on time, do what you're told, know when to get in and out of the game. Sometimes it's on coaches, though, and they'll take the bullet on that if that's the case.
So now, from 2nd and 2, it goes to 2nd down and 7. Broncos trying to finish off a drive here with 47 seconds left before halftime. Zabransky calling signals, man in motion. Play action, back to pass. Z has time, steps up, fires. Caught by James. Go out of bounds, Dry. No, he stays in bounds. The 20, he's going to score. He's to the 10, the 5, touchdown. Bryson James. And I told him to go out of bounds. What was I thinking? Great pass, great catch, great run. Broncos lead 20 to 10. Gotta love it. And a seat cushion comes flying out from the Broncos sidelines. Wow, what a run after the catch by Bryson James.
What a play by Jared Zabransky to break himself free, have the presence of mind to find Bryson James sitting on the sideline, and then Bryson doesn't take your advice, which was the way most guys would go, turns it upfield, 6 points Boise State, converts the extra point. Now BSU has themselves a 21-10 lead and more momentum than Oklahoma has ever seen against them probably this year.
That's right, and how much money's going to who for that beautiful touchdown and the PAT by Anthony Montgomery?
Del Taco puts $100 out to the Northwest Children's Home because of the tremendous success. That's $7,000 that Del Taco's come up with. On Broadway, minutes from Bronco Stadium, open 24 hours every day.
33 seconds left to go in the half. The scoring recap. 6-play, 65-yard drive. Used a minute and 32 seconds. Zabransky complete to James for 32 yards and the touchdown. Brought to you by Access Heating and Air Conditioning, your access to total comfort. Broncos 21, Sooners 10.
Boy, you talk about fly on the wall. At some point right now, I'd like to be somewhere in the state of Oklahoma listening to some of that. I mean, you talk about a state that will go into depression. It'll look a lot like the Dust Bowl again. Well,
halftime talks by both coaches going to be very interesting. Here's the kick, a squib kick. Hits on the 20. Rolls to the 10. Iglesias picks it up, has a hole, though, across the 25, knocked down at the 30.
Yeah, nice job to bring him down right there, because that could have been a very, very dangerous return. He had a lane. If it weren't for Dallas Dobbs, he may still be running.
So now 25 seconds left to go.
Back to a double-digit lead. Again, a position I don't think that Oklahoma is used to being in. We talked about at the end of the first quarter that Oklahoma has not fared well when they're behind. At the end of the half, I don't think Oklahoma would do much better. I just don't think they find themselves in that situation, but they're 1-1 when they're losing at the half.
All right, here we go. First down. Thompson hands it off. Peterson dances, hit, drop for a loss at the 27-yard line. They're going to give him the 30, though, so no gain. That'll be halftime. It's halftime as the clock runs out. Boise State undefeated now, running off the field with an 11-point lead over a team that nearly made the national championship game. Here in the Fiesta Bowl, it's Boise State 21, Oklahoma 10. We'll be back.
Jeff Caves and Paul J. Schneider, the Fiesta Bowl broadcast on KBOI, brought to you by Syringa Bank. Expertise, integrity, value, and most important, local. Make Syringa Bank your new banking partner. Visit Syringa Bank at syringabank.com. 15 seconds to go until they get lined up for the second half kickoff. A quick Taco Bell scoreboard update. Think outside the bun. Winners today in bowl games. Auburn over Nebraska 17-14. Penn State wins over Tennessee 20-10. Joe Pa gets another victory. West Virginia 38-35 over Georgia Tech. Wisconsin upsets Arkansas 17-14 with their athletic director here doing television color.
Nice.
Wow. USC over Michigan in the Rose Bowl, 32-18. It's 21-10 here in the Fiesta Bowl at University of Phoenix Stadium. Farm Bureau Financial, keys to the second half. Here's to a good life. Farm Bureau for life, insurance, annuities, and more.
Don't turn it over.
Well,
get some more turnovers.
I think Dirk Cutter said, stay aggressive.
Yep.
Don't get complacent, and I think Boise State will do that, but we'll analyze it later. But stay aggressive, continue to win the turnover battle, and I think pound Ian Johnson. Right now Ian Johnson has not been a dominant factor. He's been basically used as bait.
Yep.
And that has been effective, but right now Ian on the evening only 8 carries for 32 yards. I think he needs another 15 carries and the time of possession that comes with it. Boise State starts the ball for the second half with an 11-point lead. That is huge. Paul J., Oklahoma, behind at the half this year. Down to Oregon by 7, 13-6. They lost 34-33. Down by 7 to Texas Tech, 24-17. They won 34-24.
So half the time they're buzzing out in the hall. I tell you what, as they may be seeing history. If Boise State hangs on here, this will be one of those games where 50 years, 100 years from now, there'll be old pictures on the walls in the press box, and people will be saying, yeah, I remember that. They went down to Phoenix, beat Oklahoma, the Big 12 champion, but now they have to hold on for another 30 minutes.
I think they got to add some scores. I mean, let's face it, 11 points is nothing. That's 2 touchdowns. You're losing.
Yep.
You're losing. You're not even tied. You're losing by 3. You've got to get a score just to get it back.
All right, second half kickoff. We are ready to go.
BodyBuilding.com says kick off a new you at BodyBuilding.com, where everything you need for your weight loss goals is waiting.
All right, and the ball is fumbled, goes out of the end zone for Boise State.
Just
will
as
not
well.
be returned. Yeah.
Rashawn Scott, just as well, did not return that kick.
I agree. Scotty got a hand on it and just kind of bounced away, and the Broncos will start at the 20. So, 14:54 left in the third quarter. The Broncos will start their first drive of the second half from the 20.
Hey, the third quarter is brought to you by our friends at Simmons Jewelry. J. Simmons and Company, your wedding ring store, and so much more. Simmons Jewelry.
All right, ready to go. Broncos out on the field. Johnson, the tailback. Lau is in the ball game at fullback. Zabransky under center, calling signals. First play of the second half. Putnam in motion. Handoff to Ian Johnson. He's hit and dropped for a loss of 4. Boy, they were ready for that one.
Wow. Just nothing there between the tackles for Boise State this evening. Corey Bennett just swallowed him up when he tried to dance, which, Ian usually has some patience and uses good footwork in the holes while they open up.
Here, huh?
Well, it's just been tough for Tad Miller and Jeff Cavender to blow up Oklahoma's interior defensive linemen.
All right. We are ready to go. Second down. Calling signals, Zabransky. No back attack. Yeah, they got to throw it. Well, there goes Johnson back to tail. Z back to pass. Sets up. Running around. Back at the 10. Fires. Caught. Upfield to the 25 and knocked down at the 27 is Derek Schumann. And that will be short of the first down by about 4 yards.
Putting Schumann out in the flat. Safe pass. Letting him try to cut back up in the middle and get some extra yards, but not going to happen when you run into Rufus Alexander. That was a collision, by the way, between Rue and Shu, and we had a real collision going on with the crowd.
Huge third down play here. Third down and 4 for Boise State. Calling signals, Zabransky. Johnson the single setback. Z drops back, flushed out of the pocket. Now in trouble, turns the corner, run out of bounds for a loss of a yard. It'll be 4th down, and the Broncos will have to punt. Governor Butch Otter on the field at halftime said more people are here from Boise than voted for me in the election. He also said it shows Idaho's values to the nation, the way we come down here and support our kids like that. That's nice.
Kyle Ging comes limping back in crutches, Paul J., onto the field. David Shields is going to have to play a huge role here, and it looks like Ging has his right leg really bandaged heavily, if not soft casted, as BSU punts.
Kyle Stringer on the punt. He's standing back at his own 12-yard line. Good snap. High punt. Smith back to the 30. And he catches it and is hit at the 25. Gets away across the 30. Knocked down at the 32. Corey Hall finally nailed him. Timeout on the field. The score, Boise State 21, Oklahoma 10 with 12:47 left to go in the third quarter on the All-State Broncos Sports Network. All right, the Fiesta Bowl broadcast on KBOI, sponsored by Syringa Bank. Expertise, integrity, and value. All yours at Syringa Bank. It'll be Oklahoma football on their own 32-yard line. Boise State's defense been standing out on the field a long time, while Oklahoma is huddling up their offensive team on the far sideline.
Well, I think I'll be as anxious as everybody to see what Malcolm Kelly's status is, if he's even going to get an opportunity to get back in this game.
He is not. He's standing on the sideline down at the 50-yard line with no helmet near him.
Well, we'll have to see.
Oh, wait a minute. They have 2 number 4s, so that could be premature.
Well, if there's a number 4 in at wide receiver, then there isn't.
There isn't. He's not in the ball game.
Definitely something there.
Thompson, the quarterback, calling signals. Running back is Adrian Peterson. Boise State on defense. Thompson hands it off. Peterson knocked down after a gain of about 5 yards. Skandrick tried to rip the ball out as he was going down. Tackled by Colt Brooks and Nick Schlickaway.
Dennis Ellis, Mike T. Williams, Andrew Browning, and Nick Schleckaway providing the fearsome foursome, trying to stop Adrian Peterson and the Oklahoma offense. A 3-yard gain is a defeat for somebody as talented as Adrian Peterson, who goes split far right, Paul J.
He's done that a couple of times tonight. He usually comes in motion when that happens. They hand it off to him, and the Broncos were ready for it. Skandrick nails him for a big loss back at the 32. So a loss, well, not a big loss, I guess. A loss of a couple of yards. It'll be 3rd down and 10.
Great read by Orlando Skandrick, who stayed at home, honored his responsibilities, came up with a big play. He just cut right inside the wide receiver for Oklahoma, who couldn't block him.
Nice.
Great read.
3rd down and 10 without a huddle now. Now Thompson looks back over to his offensive coordinator. Peterson is the running back. They got the play. Doesn't seem like a very efficient way to do things. 1 on the play clock, back to pass. Thompson going to run. He's being chased by Browning. Fires back across the field. Got a man out there. Intercepted by Boise State at the 25. He's got room to run. 30. He's at the 35, the 40. It's Alexander out of bounds at the 47-yard line. 3rd turnover for Oklahoma. Interception by G.A. And the Broncos back in business near midfield. Jeff, big play by Boise State.
Jared Zabransky in the past has been accused of doing too much, of scrambling and trying to make huge plays by throwing across his body, across the field. That is a recipe for disaster. A quarterback who's pressing and out of his element. Huge turnover for the confidence of that offense and for Thompson.
Timeout on the field, 11:02 left, third quarter, 21-10 Boise State on the All-State Broncos Sports Network. The attendance report brought to you by Domino's Pizza. Get the door, it's Domino's. 73,719. That's a sellout. 16th consecutive sellout here at the Fiesta Bowl.
New venue for these guys. They've got to be very pleased that people are willing to travel out here. And with these kinds of upset stories, at this point, the additional play-in game, if you will, for a mid-major to crash the BCS party successful.
All right, let's go down to the Bronco Motor Hyundai Nissan sideline reporter Todd Miles for word on Malcolm Kelly.
I had to go to my sources. Chris Myers from Fox told me they got his bell rung, and he thought he'd be back by now, but apparently not.
All right, very good. He looked a little shaky when he left. Here we go, first down, Boise State. The line of scrimmage, the Bronco 48. Zabransky calling signals. There's a handoff to Ian Johnson. Johnson with short gain inside Oklahoma territory at about the 48, a pickup of 4.
Well, just when Ian really gets that look in his eye and he starts really chugging for more yards, Oklahoma just closes the deal.
They're quick, huh?
Well, they close those holes so quickly, and if you really pay attention to what Boise State's trying to do, I think that they're trying to put a hat on everybody's head. They can't block them all. Alonzo Dotson's a second-team kid, comes all the way from his right-end position and tackles him across the field.
Second down and 7, a gain of 3 by I.J. Man in motion is Schumann. Calling signals, Zabransky. Inside handoff to Johnson. No hole there at all. None. No place to go, and he loses a yard to the 50.
Oh, flag on Schumann for hitting late and just trying to drill Nick Harris into the ground. Schumann should have really let up, but he wanted to prove a point, and he's going to get flagged for that. Just driving Harris into the ground, totally away from the play.
They asked the SID from...
personal foul, late hit. 91 on the offense. 15-yard penalty.
That's bad, and you saw it from Schumann.
Everybody did.
The Oklahoma SID said when we asked him about Malcolm Kelly, he said, we don't report injury information.
Yeah.
So they said, so he's injured.
Yeah.
And the SID said, well, yes. So Malcolm Kelly is injured.
Well, Boise State's offense is now a little injured. This is not the kind of series that they wanted to put together. Coming off of a huge turnover like that, 3rd and 22, you got to be real careful, I think, with what you do with the ball right now.
At the 35-yard line, it is 3rd down, 22 yards to go. Ball is on the Bronco 35.
I will be shocked if they throw it between the hashes.
Zabransky calling signals. I thought we had movement on the line. It's inside handoff up across the 40 to the 42 goes Ian Johnson, picked up 7.
You could say that that's showing a lack of aggressiveness. That is just being smart.
It's being smart.
You don't have a 3rd and 22 play.
Nope.
You don't go to the playbook and say 3rd and 22, what do we call?
We saw what happened to Oklahoma when they went for their 3rd and 9 play and threw it downfield while the quarterback was being flushed out of the pocket.
National media already responding to what's going on here at the University of Phoenix Stadium as Kyle Stringer goes back to punt, standing at his own 26-yard line.
Yep, says Broncos surprising favorite Sooners. Here's the kick. High kick. Reggie Smith calls for a fair catch. Penalty flag down. Broncos touched Smith as he went for the ball.
Iafalo just getting way too careless around the ball carrier. They may say he was blocked into him, but
they wouldn't have thrown the flag. Then let's go to Todd Miles, our Hyundai Bronco Motors Hyundai Nissan sideline reporter.
Oh, I was just going to tell you what the ref just said, that was right in front of us here. The guy just shoved. I mean, wasn't even near. The fair catch had already gone up, and he gave him a shove right in the back.
So it's an illegal block in the back. Thank you, Todd. And the penalty is against Oklahoma.
Rhythm definitely has been thrown off for Oklahoma. Now they start up even further, and they've told Adrian Peterson to take a series off. They've got Patrick Allen back in there trying to create some of that, some of the magic they had when Adrian was not involved. It's not gone well for him so far in this football game.
All right, out of the huddle come the University of Oklahoma Sooners. Thompson, the quarterback, calling signals. Hands it off to Patrick. He's hit and dropped. Nice play by Colt Brooks. And no gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down and 10.
Big game, Brooks. Is he not amazing?
He's amazing. And you look at the guy, looks like an accountant.
10 tackles against Boston College last year, who basically had tackles at 6'9" and tight ends. And Colt Brooks, as you suggested, looks like he has a pocket pen protector, you know?
It does. 2nd down, give him a gain of half a yard. 2nd down and 9.
But he's so fearless. It's just such a fearless kid. He's a competitive guy. He's going to be a winner.
From the shotgun, Thompson. Hands it off to Adrian Peterson. Has a crease. Gets around the corner and is hit and dropped and run out of bounds on a penalty flag.
They're grabbing his mask, I think. They may call it inadvertently, but man, Peterson has a different gear when he sees the crease to the outside. Yeah, he came from left to right and exploded.
6-yard gain, but it was a face mask. You'll hear it.
Face mask. Number 8 on the defense. That 5-yard penalty. Result.
So Skandrick called for the incidental face mask, and that'll add 5 and give them a 1st down.
Yeah, all of a sudden, 8:29 to go in the 3rd quarter here. 2nd and 9, Oklahoma down 21-10 to Boise State. They're going to start counting their possessions, and if they want to go right now, PJ, on a 75-yard drive,
it's going to take some time.
It's going to take some time.
It'll be down toward the end of the 3rd quarter if they have a long one. Calling signals, Thompson. Broncos dig in. I formation. Thompson back to pass. Here comes the rush. Fires. Intercepted. It's going to be a touchdown. It'll be a touchdown for Boise State. Great interception and a touchdown for Marty Tadman as he picked it off. Went in. Turnover number number 4 for Oklahoma. Broncos have capitalized on 3 of them, and Tadman just jumped the route, took it in for the touchdown. Boise State 27, Oklahoma 10.
Marty Tadman had a very, very weak ball, or a tipped ball, right into his hands, and he walked in with the touchdown as Oklahoma's Bob Stoops shaking his head on what in the world is happening to his Boomer Sooner football team.
Both drives this half, Jeff, have ended in interceptions by Boise State.
Every time BSU scores, Northwest Children's Homes gets a $100 check from Del Taco on Broadway, minutes from Broncos Stadium.
PAT is up. It is good. And the Broncos lead 28-10 with 8:05 left in quarter number 3. And the blue and orange gang going crazy here in Arizona. We'll be back on the All-State Broncos Sports Network.
8 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the third quarter on the All-State Broncos Sports Network. Jeff Caves and Paul J. Schneider as Boise State tries to shock the college football world at the University of Phoenix Stadium here in Glendale. It's 28-10 Boise State as they kick off to the Sooners.
Tadman interception for the touchdown. 23-yard interception, and the Broncos lead 28-10, brought to you by Access Heating and Air Conditioning, your access to total comfort. And Boise State ready to kick off here, and now it becomes crucial for Oklahoma to score quickly as they are down by 3 scores.
Last time Oklahoma found themselves in this situation, our crack researchers, Tim Wold and Chris Walton, say it was to Texas and they lost the football game.
All right, here's the kick. Iglesias at the 1. Out to the 10, has a room. He's to the 15, block in the back. He's the 20, another block in the back. The 25, knocked down at the 28. And this one will come back.
I just wonder, if you think about motivation, it's a critical factor in bowl games. And a lot of the guys who make money on these things tell you, never bet on the team that really has nothing to gain or no motivation.
There's a saying in horse racing, Jeff. Never overlook the undefeated horse.
No matter who he's run against or what track.
No matter who he's run against.
Half the distance to the goal.
They call a hold. It'll be half the distance to the goal.
What does Oklahoma have to gain by coming back at this point? If they...
Pride, respect.
That's it. But that was what they had at the kickoff. Now what's left of it?
Yeah. All right, Oklahoma will have the ball. First down, 10 yards to go at the 8.
And they've got the BSU band at their back.
Well, they also have their own band at their back, which is strangely silent. High formation. Thompson calling signals. From the 8, hands it off to Adrian Peterson. Gets a yard to the 9, and that is it, baby. Corey Hall. Alexander also there on the stop, along with Mike T. Williams and Dennis Ellis. All right, let's go down to our sideline microphone man, Bronco Motors Hyundai Nissan sideline reporter Todd Miles.
Hey, 2 points, guys. First and foremost, I think that's what film work does on that interception. Marty Tadman, I was watching him right in front of me. He broke on that ball. He saw something in the formation, and he broke on the ball before the ball was snapped. So come back to me after this one. I got an update on Kelly.
All right, very good point there. All turnovers aren't accidents. A lot of them are by schemes. Thompson back to pass, fires upfield, got a man open. First down for Iglesias, and he's hit and dropped at the 21. Okay, Todd.
I think Oklahoma may be giving a little bad information to the media. According to our trainers, they've heard that Kelly tore some cartilage in his knee, and he ain't coming back.
Yeah, well, we asked their SID, and they said we don't report injury information.
All I can say is our trainers are great reporters.
Yeah, and we said, so he's injured, and their SID said, well, yes. First down, I love that, at the 24.
That's a lot of productivity. That's 10 touchdowns out of the lineup.
There's back to pass Thompson. He's moved out of the pocket, fires again. Whoa. It's caught this time at the 40. Iglesias to the 45, knocked down at the 48. And here comes Oklahoma.
Oh, they like their matchup when you got Colt Brooks and Corey Hall trying to hold back Iglesias, who's a burner at 6'1", 200. They like what they see there.
First down, 10 yards to go. The line of scrimmage is the 49 of Oklahoma.
They are 4 possessions away.
Yeah.
They've got 4 possessions that they've got to capitalize on. They need to get moving.
Thompson at quarterback, calling signals. Adrian Peterson is the running back. Man in motion. Fake handoff. Back to pass. Thompson fires downfield. Incomplete. Overshot his intended receiver, Cheney, at the 25.
Nice job by Kyle Wilson on the front and Gerald Alexander on the back, who's had just a tremendous evening so far. Gerald Alexander wants to play at the next level, and he knows this is the day to prove it.
Bob Stoops said in the press conference yesterday.
He was very complimentary towards them.
Not all of them seniors, by the way. Out of the huddle comes Oklahoma. Thompson, the quarterback, 2nd down and 10 from the 49. Single setback is Peterson. Thompson passes complete to Johnson. It is hit and dropped hard on the far side of the field. Kyle Wilson got that one, and that's your auto body specialist collision of the game. Call Auto Body Specialist for an auto body experience like Mr. Johnson is having right now. They did gain 5 on the play. It'll be 3rd down and 5.
Great situation for Boise State's defense in the middle of the field to force Oklahoma to throw it once again. They can't rely on their ground game giving them 5. Right now, Peterson has not been able to give that to him.
Big play here for the Boise State defense and the Oklahoma offense. Thompson from the shotgun. Fires quickly, incomplete. Good defense there by Boise State as Quentin Jones cut off the receiver and the pass was incomplete.
No timing there between the freshman Tunnel and Thompson. Thompson threw the ball behind him and late.
That's Malcolm Kelly time right there, too.
And that's his replacement. That kid is not getting enough snaps to match up there. Puts Oklahoma in a passing situation, down by 18. Boy, every possession that goes away really is another tick on the clock in a huge way for Oklahoma.
15 carries, 47 yards for Adrian Peterson, 3.1 yards a carry. Here's the punt. High, floating kick. Tadman is hit. The ball hits. He didn't call a fair catch or anything.
Oklahoma batted that ball.
Oklahoma hit it, I think. Now the ball is being scrumped, and it's Oklahoma football. The ball hit a Bronco. The ball hit a Bronco at about the 15 and went all the way down to the 5. A huge break for Oklahoma and the first turnover for Boise State.
Well, there's that one turnover that Bob Stoops produces every game.
Touched by a member of the receiving team, recovered by the kicking team. First
down, it looks like David Shields was there, and then Iona Key was trying to block on the play, and he couldn't see it. It just bounced into him.
So a big mistake by Boise State. First turnover by the Broncos. 4 so far for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Marcus Walker, the talented defensive back, jumped on it, and very difficult situation to swallow that.
Yeah, and the Broncos with a huge turnover. Not unlike the turnover Oklahoma had early in the game.
Sure changes the complexion of the game, doesn't it?
Patrick, the single setback. Man in motion. Thompson calling signals. Hands it off to Patrick. Nothing. Hit and dropped after a gain of maybe 2.
Andrew Browning basically left unblocked to just bring Patrick down. And he is now becoming the man they're going to down the stretch of the game. And they maybe have to rethink that. If they're going to go with a power back, I would want Adrian Peterson in there running those kinds of plays.
He's in there now as he comes in for Patrick. 2nd down. 7 yards to go at the 8. They can get a first down at the 1. Out of the huddle come the Sooners. Peterson, the single setback. Thompson calling signals. Man in motion, the big tight end. Hand off to Adrian Peterson, running laterally. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, Sooners. Well, the Broncos gave him that one.
Well, he ran through the arms of Marty Tadman, who tried to bring him down at the ankles, and I guess Adrian Peterson even has muscles there. I mean, the kid is an unstoppable force when he's in the open field.
Well, a turnover is what set up that one. There's no question.
Now the offense knows that the hat's on their head. They need to wear it. They
need to drive.
They need a good return, too. Boise State needs to get some better field position and productivity out of the kicking game.
So, 28-16, the extra point will be tried by Hartley. There's the snap. It's a good one. The kick is up and good. 4:29 left to go in the 3rd quarter, and Boise State's lead now down to 11, 28-17. Timeout on the field on the All-State Broncos Sports Network. We are back once again. Fiesta Bowl coverage brought to you in part by Syringa Bank. Expertise, integrity, value at Syringa Bank. And they're a hometown bank.
Crowd is somewhat subdued other than the Boise State band, who cost the Fiesta Bowl at least 4 rows of seating. Nobody wants to sit behind the band.
No, nobody.
You can't sell them. You can't give them away.
All right, we're ready to go. Broncos lead is down to 11, 28-17. Boise State has led all the way in this 36th annual Fiesta Bowl.
Tough time to be an Oklahoma Sooner fan. You know, getting excited about coming from behind to beat Boise State has to be, from their perspective, demoralizing.
Yeah.
From their perspective. That's nothing they're excited about.
Boise State, they're excited. They'd like to get some pretty good starting position on this kick.
I think they need a return here.
There's the kick. Taken in the end zone by Quentin Jones, 15-yard line. He's hit and dropped at the 16.
There's not a seam there for Quentin to hit, and that's really more his specialty, is finding that seam if it's there and making it happen. It's not been there. And
no, not been there.
They've struggled with field position as a result of it off kickoffs.
Kyle Stringer has been a savior for Boise State, as he is averaging 44 yards a kick. Fox just showed Adrian Peterson's father after he scored a touchdown.
The great Bengal.
Yeah. Idaho State University Bengal. All right, first down, Boise State. Back to pass. Zabransky has all day. Fires. Caught by Rabb at the 25 and out of bounds somewhere around the 27 on the near sideline.
Great protection package by Boise State as Oklahoma guessed wrong on their twisting fronts. They tried to twist to Jared's left, and Zabransky smartly moved up to the right, had plenty of time and space, looked extremely comfortable in the pocket. Getting an 8-yard gain on first down, Paul J., is so big, I can't tell you. This gives them great options on this down.
Second down and 2. Johnson, the single setback, has not had much luck this afternoon. Zabransky calling signals, now changes the play. Back to pass. On second down and short, now he's going to run. He's running. Now he's cuts back toward the end zone. He's in trouble. He fires complete.
To Jaden Daly.
Oh.
And a flag goes down.
Oh, complete to the center. And boy, oh boy, that'll be illegal touching. And that'll be half the distance to the goal line, and the Broncos in big trouble.
That was a disaster, and that is a play that Z seems to get off once in a while, and he figured, what the heck, I'll throw it to Daly. Now, I don't know if Daly's an eligible receiver. I thought all linemen were eligible as long as they're behind the line of scrimmage.
It's got to be a backwards pass, I think.
We can't tell from this angle. Let's just see what they say.
It'll be illegal touching, I'm sure.
Sounds like a crime.
Yeah.
Coach Peterson is remaining calm, though, on the sidelines. He's not losing his cool at Z, because Z had to step up and avoid huge pressure from his left. Did a great job of scooting along the line of scrimmage, but could not find a receiver to his left, so then tried to go back right towards the goal line.
How many times have you heard Chris say, though, throw it away?
Illegal touching. Number 69 of the offense.
See?
That penalty's been declined. Result of the play, third down.
Wow. 3rd and 2. You kidding me?
Well, I don't know what ultimately they would have gained by taking the penalty. They want the down. They think they've got him boxed in.
Wow.
3rd and 8.
Why is it 3rd and 8?
They added 6 yards.
So
illegal touching is a 6-yard penalty.
They turned it down, though.
So then it was a 6-yard loss. That's why it was 1 more yard than they would have gained by moving it back 5.
So it's the loss of where the ball was touched.
Must be.
All right, there we go. 3rd down and long. 3rd and 8. Big play here for the Broncos. Zabransky back to pass. Sets up, fires. Oh. Ew, it's dropped. Rabb had the first down at the 33 and dropped the ball. Should have had it.
Can't ask much more from Zabransky on that play.
Right there.
Put it on the dime. Looks so comfortable. He looks so confident right now.
He just dropped the ball. No reason to drop that one.
Now it'll be up to Boise State to keep composure, maintain that play was there, and defensively they need to come up with a stop. Because I think Oklahoma's got to be almost out of turnovers, Paul J.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, though, Boise State used only about 30 seconds on that drive. Nice punt again by Stringer. Reggie Smith got it at the 40, and he's hit and dropped immediately.
Boy, he follows something else.
He is a tiny guy, but he can pack a wallop, and down goes Reggie Smith.
3 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the third quarter, and Oklahoma is behind 28-17. So they've got a couple of touchdowns that they need to make up.
All right, first down. They're at the 39, and the Broncos would love to get a stop here, get the ball back, and make some yardage. The Broncos have not moved the ball in the second half. Their only touchdown came on an interception. They have 2 turnovers here in the third quarter, as Paul Thompson has been intercepted a couple of times. He is calling signals now on first down. Dropping back to pass, has time, now fires, complete to Adrian Peterson in the open field, and he gets up to the 40, a gain of 1. Good job that time as Orlando Skandrick and Colt Brooks kind of double-teamed Adrian Peterson.
Yeah, we have the benefit of replay, as do some of you watching at home and listening to us. Colt Brooks did a nice job of what they call breaking down, and Peterson was still able to dance away to Colt's right and Peterson's left, putting Oklahoma in a 2nd and 9 situation. Yeah. Just a nice job by Skandrick with support.
Gain of only 1. Thompson under center this time. Calling signals. Patrick, the running back. There's a handoff. No, he still has it, and he throws, and it's complete. Iglesias at the 40, the 35, the 30, down to the 27. Great fake. I thought he gave it to Peterson, who was on what Boise State fans know as the fly sweep, but he did not. Great deception, and wide open was Iglesias in the Broncos secondary, and he has a big first down for the Sooners.
Boy, Iglesias just sat down out there and waited for the ball to come to him. He had nobody around him, and Boise State, David Shields was caught with his pants down, and BSU really bit on the play fake on the double reverse, plus the pump fake by Thompson.
Yeah, great play by Thompson. First down. Patrick now goes in motion. And they don't give it to him. Rolling out is Thompson again. He's running to the sideline. He's got room to go, and he's out of bounds inside the 20 at the 17. Nice play by Paul Thompson, as the Broncos reticent to come after him because they'd have to leave a receiver uncovered.
Yeah, Colt Brooks was looking at him and is looking for more help from Corey Hall on secondary support and talking to him right now. I think right now BSU's defense starting to feel their oats a little bit. They look like they're tired. There's guys out there with their hands on their hips. Colt Brooks being one of them. Mike T. Williams, Dennis Ellis. They're running around. This is a very difficult series.
All right, here comes Oklahoma. We knew it'd be sooner or later, and it's sooner for the Sooners. Thompson hands it off. Patrick might score. Now he slips as he makes a cutback inside the 10 and goes down at the 8.
I no question the Boise State defensive front's tired.
Yep.
It's just tired.
Well, the offense is giving them no rest.
They're defender for Boise State just to give them a blow.
Mike G. Williams comes in for the Broncos. First down and goal for Oklahoma. Minute 38 left to go here in the third quarter. Patrick, the running back. Thompson calling signals. Tight end in motion. Thompson hands it off to Patrick. Hit hard at the line of scrimmage. Still on his feet, though. Gets a couple down to the 6.
Nice job by Corey Hall, who really scraped over and laid a big-time blow on David Shields. Corey's now having his left calf starting to cramp up, which is an indication of some dehydration coming on, exhaustion. All those things start happening.
Second down. And goal to go from about the 5. Broncos need a break here. A nice fumble would be nice.
53 plays defended so far for Boise State in this game.
Yeah, Oklahoma's had the ball more than 7 minutes more than Boise State. Peterson now the single setback. Thompson fires in the end zone, corner of the end zone, incomplete. out of the end zone. And it will be 3rd down and goal from the 5.
Boy, almost a one-handed acrobatic catch, though, just to show that Cheney could do it. He did it. It was, luckily for Boise State, falling out of bounds.
34 seconds left here in quarter number 3. Skandrick jumped off the wrong foot, it looked like.
Well, Cheney stands 6'5".
Yeah, and he was way out of bounds by the time.
He's got a big advantage. So you can put a 6'5" guy in the corner like they're doing one more time and put him this time on Quentin Jones. It looks pretty good.
3rd down. Thompson calling signals from the shotgun. Back to pass, trying to run. He's hit and dropped. Broncos got him back at the 12. A big sack by Boise State.
Browning and Schleckaway converging on Thompson, who could not find his secondary read, and a sack from Higgins and Rutledge. $100 goes to the Boise State football program. Higgins and Rutledge for all your insurance needs. Huge play, 4th and 11. Now field goal formation for Oklahoma. They had to get one sooner or later.
Yep. I don't think they're going to get it off before the end of the 3rd quarter, and they are not as they come out of the huddle. That's the end of 3. Broncos still lead by 11. It's Boise State 28, Oklahoma 17. 3 quarters in the book, 1 to go here at the Fiesta Bowl on the All-State Broncos Sports Network. All right, we are back. 1 quarter, 15 minutes to go. Boise State leads Oklahoma 28-17. 3rd quarter stats brought to you by Syringa Bank. Expertise, integrity, and value is yours at Syringa Bank. Boise State 206 yards and 36 plays. Oklahoma 298 yards on 55 plays. Time of possession is a big factor here. 10 more minutes for Oklahoma. And the Broncos offense needs to establish a drive here and get them going. Zabransky 13 of 20 for 153 and 2 touchdowns. Thompson 13 of 24, 3 interceptions and 1 touchdown. And it looks like a field goal attempt coming up here for Oklahoma. If they're good, it would make it an 8-point game with the full 4th quarter left to go.
Or it puts them in a position to have to not only get 6, but get a 2 to force an OT if it comes down to that situation.
Yep. Well, you knew it would be close and there would be a run somewhere along the line, and the Sooners are making it thanks to a punt that hit a Boise State special teams man.
So I don't anticipate any shenanigans here. I think they go straight ahead and get the kick. They got 15 minutes to go.
Makes it a 1-possession game. There's the snap. The kick is up. And it's good. So on the first play of the 4th quarter, Oklahoma makes it a 1-possession game, 28-20. And the Bronco fans seemingly as tired as the Bronco defense. So the Sooners right back in it. Boise State now needs to prove what they are made of. And they have fought adversity before, maybe never against such a major opponent.
No, and this is a different type of, battle. This is a battle against yourself. This is something that you do to push yourself. You're not comparing yourself to somebody, because at this point, Boise State just has to continue to do what they did in the first half on offense.
They need to get a scoring drive here, and they need to score something here.
And they've got the confidence in the plays that work. Definitely Ian Johnson, at some point you would like to think in this 4th quarter, can become a factor and catch Oklahoma when they're thinking that Boise State's going to throw the ball.
Rashawn Scott and Quentin Jones deep for Boise State. Oklahoma down by 8 early here in the 4th quarter. Here comes the kickoff. Rashawn Scott will take it. Has it at the 3, upfield to the 10. Has a crease, 15, 20, 25, knocked down at the 28. So better field position and a nice return for Rashawn Scott.
Nice job by Ryan Putnam, giving him an opportunity to make it. And so far, Oklahoma's really been able to keep themselves in this game with just some opportune things happening. So Boise State has to now create just, 1 or 2 more opportunities, Paul J., and they're in really winning shape.
Yep. Out on the field comes the BSU offense. Clock is moving. 14 and a half minutes left to go. Putnam in motion. Line of scrimmage, the 27. Handoff. Ian Johnson has a hole across the 30, up to the 32, a gain of 5. Nice run on first down. Boise State has had some horrendous plays here in the second half. Some really bad luck on the one punt that kind of 9-ironed or pitching wedged, if you will, back into Iona Key's foot.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
Yep. Broncos out in a big hurry now, and they snap it quickly. Handoff to Ian Johnson's got a hole. He's to the 40, the 45, and out of bounds for the first down at the 47. Nice run by Ian.
Huge run by Ian, who just slid outside and found himself alone, and then, for good measure, knocked over the Oklahoma kicker, Garrett Hartley, on the sideline.
So it'll be first down, Boise State.
Oh, you'd really want to put this into a 2-possession game for Oklahoma, and a 3-scoring opportunity, because they got to go 6, 2, and 3.
Yep.
So they've got to make 3 huge plays.
Boise State out of the huddle. Line of scrimmage, the Bronco 45. Zabransky changing the play at the line of scrimmage. 14-yard run last time by Ian Johnson, and Boise State has to call timeout. And they do with 13:52 left to go.
Timeout. Boise State, first team timeout.
2 seconds left on the play clock, so Zabransky, in changing the play, looked up at the play clock and said, So timeout on the field. With 13:52 left, it's Boise State 28, Oklahoma 20 on the All-State Broncos Sports Network. All right, we are back once again. Boise State's football. Ian Johnson, 6 carries, 34 yards in the second half. Johnson now 14 for 57 on the game, averaging 4 yards a carry, and basically outperforming Adrian Peterson. Well, it's about a push, actually.
BSU holds on to the ball in some of those passing situations, and
the drop by Rabb was huge.
Huge, and they're feeling much better about themselves, but that's not happening. So they've always showed faith in their guys, and they'll come back, but not right now. Dryson James and Vinny Peretta in there at wide receiver right now.
All right, first down from the 45. Zabransky has them at the line of scrimmage. We're ready to go. James had a huge first half, has been silent here in the second half. Now he splits wide to the left. Broncos load up the right side. There's a pitch on the sweep to Johnson, dancing, cutting back in, bouncing, and pushed out of bounds with a 2-yard gain at the 47.
Ow.
The bad thing is he went out of, no, he didn't go out of bounds. The clock continues to run.
You run a pitch play into the short side of the field on Oklahoma, you better be fast.
Yep.
Because they are.
And if the hole's not there and you have to dance, you're done.
Just did not develop for BSU. I mean, as well as Ian's run the second half, PJ, they still don't have 75 yards rushing.
Yep. All right. Johnson now with 60, I think. No, he doesn't either. He has 58. There's a quick snap again. The Broncos missed the pass over Peretta's head out of bounds. That would have worked, too, I think.
Tried to run that bubble screen by putting Legadou Nene in front of Vinny Peretta and trying to block the corner, Marcus Walker.
Backward pass, out of bounds. That's the spot.
Oh, backwards pass. So that makes it, they might have been a double pass there with Peretta.
I don't know if there's anybody downfield from there. We'll never find out now.
Nope. So that makes a loss of 4. It's third down and 13.
A lot of pressure they're putting on themselves by making these kinds of mistakes down the stretch.
All right, here's that T formation look again. Now they shift out of it to a regular shotgun. Zabransky back to pass. Here comes the rush. Steps up in the pocket. He can run. He's to the 50. Oh, and hit hard at the 49. That was a big stick there.
Just listen.
Alexander Rufus.
A tough kid, man. Rufus Alexander's not had the ideal childhood, but he's sure turning into a man here.
Kyle Stringer on to punt now. Clock is moving. 12:48 left to go. Bronco lead is 8.
Oh, you'd really want to pin him in now to make a lot of pressure on Kyle.
There's a high snap. Stringer gets it. Beautiful kick. Fair catch called for by Scott. Makes it at the 5.
Wow. What do you gain, kid?
Reggie Smith.
Let it go.
Reggie Smith called for the fair catch. You can still let it go once you call for it, but he made the catch.
So he's guaranteed him first and 95. Congratulations.
That's good for Boise State. Timeout on the field. 12:26 left to go. The Broncos hanging on. They lead 28-20. We'll be back on the All-State Broncos Sports Network.
The biggest news team in the state of Idaho, with live reports when news breaks.
The latest from the 670 KBOI 24-hour news center.
News Talk 670 KBOI. Don't miss a thing. This is the voice of the Broncos.
The voice of the Broncos.
Now more of Boise State and Oklahoma in the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl on News Talk 670 KBOI.
All right, big time for Boise State defensively. 12:26 left to go. 28-10. The Broncos lead by 8 on the All-State Broncos Sports Network. First down at the 5-yard line for Oklahoma. The Broncos would like to make Oklahoma have to work hard for whatever they get here. Broncos lead by a touchdown and a 2-point conversion.
A huge mistake, I think, by Smith putting him in this situation. At least gamble and see if the ball goes out. Unbelievable situation for Oklahoma to be in.
Slickaway, Browning, Ellis, Mike G. Williams on the Bronco defensive line.
They've only taken 3.5 minutes for their average scoring drives today.
At the 5-yard line, first down. Handoff. Oh, it hit and dropped for a loss in the backfield is Adrian Peterson.
Hello, Dennis Ellis.
Dennis Ellis got him dead to rights at the 3.
All day.
Well, that was a big play for Dennis Ellis. They mark it somehow at the line of scrimmage. Ellis just creamed him.
Boom!
Hello, Mr. P. Down you go.
Fox primetime.
Second down. Clock is moving. 11:48 left to go. Loss of a yard. Second and 11. Thompson back to pass. Sets up. Has time. Fires. Incomplete. Great defense by Boise State.
Huge hit by Gerald Alexander, knocking the ball out of his hands, and Finley could not, again, use his thumbs to hold on. What a huge hit by Gerald Alexander to dislodge the ball out of Finley. That was
perfect
big.
Timing, too. Perfect timing.
Two
no
very physical plays, Ball J. Two very physical plays.
Big stick by Ellis, big stick by Alexander. Third down and 11. Thompson from the shotgun, standing in the end zone.
Standing in front of his guard. Hey, that's not the center. That's the guard.
Whoa, he goes, where's the football?
Hello.
A lot of time to get the play off. They change it. There's the snap. He's back. He's going to run. He's hit, dropped, he fumbled. But he was down by contact at the 9.
Statue
Fourth
of Liberty.
down.
I mean, Thompson just went Statue of Liberty. David Shields said, that was a horrible fake. I'm not going anywhere.
Nice.
Tackles him. And now, with 11:19 to go, Oklahoma's got a punt with their backs to the end zone. And Marty Tadman standing at the 50. I mean, we could be looking at another huge Marty Tadman return. Could it be his night? Could he be the new household name for Boise State football? Interception for a touchdown, and now a punt return opportunity for the ages.
All right, he's standing right at midfield, Tadman is. As Jeff said, he's got the only Bronco score in the second half with a 23-yard interception return. Here comes a punt. Kicker standing in the end zone. Broncos jumping around. Looks like they're setting up the return. They are. Here's the kick. Oh, it's a dandy. Tadman drifts back to the 40. Has it there. Cuts upfield the 45, the 50. Oh, and down he goes. Holy smokes. He was hammered down there by number 16. That would be Lewis Baker. Lewis Baker depleted Tadman, but the Broncos still with excellent field position.
Good for Marty, though, to keep his head upfield and continue going on, because Baker really laid it on him.
Timeout on the field. Broncos 28, Oklahoma 20. 10.5 minutes left in the Fiesta Bowl here on the All-State Broncos Sports Network. All right, we are back once again. 10:29 left in the ball game. 28-10. Boise State here in the Fiesta Bowl against heavily favored Oklahoma. This would not, a lot of people were saying, would this be the biggest upset in Boise State history if they won? No, because Boise State's good this year. I mean, you know, Boise State is 12-0. So it wouldn't be the biggest upset. The biggest upset is when you're 1-8 and you beat an undefeated team or something. It would be the biggest win in Boise State history just not the biggest upset.
To the rest of the college football world, it'd be the biggest upset.
Probably.
In bowl history.
Nah. First down. Childs is in now, wide receiver for Boise State. Haven't seen much of him. Back to pass, Zabransky. Nope, hands it off. Delay. Ian Johnson breaks a tackle inside the 45, down to the 43, a gain of 7.
Nice play against the grain, setting up Oklahoma with an overloaded right side of the line. Ian just slipped and slid his way to the left side of the line. Fox doing a good job showing very concerned Oklahoma fans on their national broadcast.
Broncos, clock moving inside of 10 minutes now. Boise State would love to get some kind of score out of this drive. Schumann shifts from left to right.
Boy.
Single setback is Johnson. Now they load the right side. The handoff to IJ goes through a hole and is close to the first down as he gets inside the 40. I think he's got it. First down, Boise State.
Brian Harsin and probably Chris Peterson at this time content on going double tight, big boy on big boy, and maybe they're saying we're going to eat clock and we're going to freaking dance with the girl that brought us here. And that's Ian Johnson, guy with the beanies.
You're going to slug it out against Oklahoma.
Why not? That's what they've got to be thinking, and this is when you decide who you're going to be. And they're defining themselves. First and 10, they got it.
9:34 left to go. Zabransky under center calling signals. Offset eye. Gives it to IJ. Breaks another tackle or two down to the 35. A gain of about 4 on first down.
Pound. Maybe Oklahoma's feeling it a little bit. Maybe they're a little gassed.
Maybe.
They rotate their D linemen so much, though. I find that hard to believe.
Yeah, they got 8 guys on the D line who can play that are excellent.
Well, we quietly moved the ball now into much closer room for Anthony Montgomery to operate. Right here, it's a 52-yarder.
Well, that's not close enough.
Now you need another 12.
Second down and 6. Man in motion, that is Lau. They hand it off to Johnson again. And he has a little hole, still on his feet, still running. Knocked down.
Fumble.
And a fumble, and Oklahoma may have it. We'll have to see. They do. Oklahoma football. Ian Johnson doesn't fumble much. Rufus Alexander recovered the fumble. So that is a huge play by Roof.
And Ian just scrambling for extra yardage. And that extra effort usually haunts you. And they were stripping it and ripping it, and somebody basically got it. I wonder if they'll review it to see if his knee was down.
No, see, Oklahoma's trying to get this playoff in a hurry.
No, they got it out.
Yeah, they did.
And Rufus is the guy that stripped it out. Basically, they just set him up and then stripped it. Boise State defensively is confused.
Couple of turnovers now by Boise State.
Down by 8. 8:29 to go. Oklahoma's got to get it done.
There's a handoff to Adrian Peterson, and he spins his way up to about the 33, a gain of 3.
Puts them in an interesting position, Paul J., because in the back of their minds, they know they've got to go for 2.
Yep.
If it's down, within a minute or 2 of the game.
Well, the clock now. The Broncos used about 2 minutes on that drive before fumbling. 8:04 left to go. Oklahoma not in very big a hurry. Second down and 7. Out of the huddle they come. Broncos would like to get a stop here. Calling signals is Thompson. Man in motion. Thompson back to pass. Sets up. Has all day. Now his protection breaks down. He's running for his life. And he's out of bounds with a first down as nobody could close on him for Boise State. Broncos getting tired.
Way too much time, but I guess the encouraging part of that whole play would be that he couldn't find a receiver.
Right.
So that's a good sign for Justin Wilcox as he tries to dial up defenses that Thompson is struggling to figure out. That would be one of them.
First down on the play. They've signaled for the clock to start. I thought he went out of bounds. He did. Clock does not start. Thompson calling signals. Line of scrimmage, the Oklahoma 40. Hand off to Peterson. Running laterally. Hit in the backfield. Drop for a loss. This is a great play. Corey Hall, Marty Tadman on the stop for Boise State.
Somewhere in the back of Peterson's mind are these are his last carries for Oklahoma, and he's going to fall well short if things don't change drastically of being the all-time leading rusher at that school. I just don't know how much that means to him anymore.
I don't think it means much.
Records are meant to be broken like that at a school like Oklahoma.
Billy Sims, he was a good one. Loss of a yard, 2nd down, 11. Bronco defense digs in. Thompson calling signals. Peterson the setback. There's a pass complete and knocked down is Johnson after he crosses the 45 to the 46-yard line. A gain of about 5. It'll be 3rd down and about 4.5 yards to go for Oklahoma. Big play here.
Bob Stoops really wanted to make sure that Boise State could tackle in the open field and make those kinds of plays in the on the corners, and they're doing a great job so far putting Oklahoma in this position.
Bronco fans making a ton of noise here on this 3rd down play. Key play for Oklahoma. Thompson, the quarterback, calling signals. Back to pass. Here comes the rush. Standing in a pocket, firing downfield. Got a man. He overthrew him. Incomplete. It's 4th down, and the Broncos of Hess was overthrown, and really had not much of a chance there. If you can get Thompson to move his feet, you got a chance.
Sometimes it seems to me that the more time Thompson has, the worse he is.
Worse off he is.
Yeah.
Both of his 2 of his 3 interceptions came when he was chased out of the pocket.
Boy, they dodge a bullet there, Paul J. 6:10 to go in this football game. Boise State by 8, and they get the ball back one more time to see if they can get some magic out of their offense, which has been 5 series and out in the second half.
Time for a return from Marty Tadman, standing on his 10.
And ball possession, controlled. Do not fumble. Hold on to it.
Here comes a punt. High punt. Tadman lets it go over his head into the end zone. The Broncos will have a 1st down at the 20-yard line. Boise State has not gone to Legadoo Nene at all in the second half. They haven't gone to many people in the second half. Timeout on the field. 6 minutes and 1 second left to go in the 36th annual Fiesta Bowl. The Broncos lead 28-20 on the All-State Broncos Sports Network. Second half offense. Boise State 61 yards is all in the second half. And Oklahoma 136 yards in the second half.
Don't forget to gear up on the best selection of Boise State gear at the Blue and Orange store in the Boise Town Square Mall. B&O store, largest selection of BSU merchandise, new Nike gear, t-shirts, sweatshirts, Fiesta Bowl gear. I don't know how much more Boise State gear they could find should they be a Fiesta Bowl champion, but unbelievable. They will find it, and it'll be in kid sizes, babies, women's. It's all there at the Blue and Orange store in the mall.
All right, 1st down for Boise State. Lyle and Ethel Smith getting some love.
The father of Boise State football.
Did I say Ethel? Evelyn. All right, here we go. 1st down. Zabransky at the 20. Man in motion. Nene. Z, long count. Now he changes the play. Hands it off to Johnson. No gain. Oklahoma calls timeout, huh?
Lendy Holmes wasn't fooled at all.
Timeout. Oklahoma.
Oklahoma takes their first timeout.
Timeout.
Broncos need, 2 first downs here is all.
Well, Oklahoma's really concerned, I think, about Paul Thompson having to have too much of a field to get themselves into the end zone. I think they know they've got to have a short field because their deep ball has not been working out.
Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Todd Miles, the Bronco Motor Hyundai Nissan sideline microphone. All of these long time, we've been talking about the Bronco defense getting tired. All of these long timeouts and these media timeouts, do they help, Todd?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's kind of like the NCAA basketball tournament where, you have those long TV timeouts. Your guys can play longer because they don't have to play as hard as long. This 2.5-minute break right after that 2.5-minute break a minute ago, particularly for the Boise State defense now who's sitting over here hydrating and, just trying to keep loose. And, that's key for those guys. And if Boise State can make Oklahoma take another one, you're talking maybe about just a 10-minute rest.
What's the attitude like on the Boise State sideline?
Well, I just talked to some people. I'm trying to stay down here at the end, but I think it's business as usual, very confident. I think, a lot of people around me, the fans who've come up and said something to me, the guys, sideline pass guys, they're like, man, I was hoping for a good game. Now I want to win, and that's kind of the thought.
All right, thanks, Todd. Here we go. Second down and 10 yards to go for Boise State. Shotgun formation. Zabransky calling signals. There's the snap. Z back to pass. Has time. He could run if he wanted to. Now he takes off. Fires upfield. Complete the Rab. He backed out of bounds a yard short of the first down. He could have easily fallen for the first down, but he backed out of bounds. Two bad things happened there. He stopped the clock. He didn't get the first down.
He thought he had it. He thought he was being cute by just jumping backwards out of bounds, and he was not aware of the stick, and Gerard was short, putting BSU in a 3rd and 1.
Ouch.
Oh, what a critical conversion this
Stopping the clock. Security is lining up only on the BSU fan side of the field. I wonder what that means. Oklahoma has more decorum, or Boise State could win. All right, there's a quick snap. Back to pass. Zabransky fires. Complete. First down. Schumann at the 31. Nice play by Boise State. Big play by Boise State.
One more time with the play action. Roll out right. Look for your tight end right. That play has been a staple of Derek Schumann and Jared Zabransky for 4 years.
Well, this is the last dance for these two guys.
Unbelievable.
Perfect. And nice knowledge of where you are by Schumann. Gets the first down. The clock will start, and it's moving now with 5:15 left to go. Broncos lead 28-20 here in the Fiesta Bowl. Have the ball at their own 31. Zabransky calling signals. Man in motion, that's Putnam. Hand it off. Ian Johnson has a hold. He's to the 40, the 45. Knocked down at the 46. Inbounds, another Bronco first down. Ian Johnson starting to creep closer now to triple figures against Oklahoma.
Credit the offensive line for opening up a tremendous hole with a nice pull, and then Andrew Woodworth getting all the way up on Nick Harris and blasting him about 5 more yards backwards. Harris had to finally pull down Ian Johnson, but it was much too late. BSU now has the ball on the 46-yard line, 4:44, the clock running, and Boise State ready to shock the college football world.
13 carries, 64 yards, second half for Johnson. Zabransky calling signals. First down, Boise State. Handoff, IJ. Just dives forward, kind of a design play up to the 47-yard line. Gain of 2. Broncos want to keep getting first downs. Oklahoma uses their second timeout.
Wow.
Well, they got it.
Down to 1.
They got it. Timeout on the field. Let's take a break here. Timeout to score 28-20 Boise State on the Allstate Broncos Sports Network. All right, Bronco balls. Now we have another whistle here as Bob Stoops is angry. He's out on the field. He walked out on the field. Now he's pointing at the officials. The Broncos were ready to call a play.
Timeout, Oklahoma.
Whoa!
That's his last timeout. What in the world? Oh, my. Stoops called a time, and he is in the referee's face. That is their last timeout. All right, I'll tell you what, whether you're heading home from the game or work or the myriad other places life takes you, there truly is no place like home.
Or losing the Fiesta Bowl, Bob.
Home at Last Furniture can help you furnish it with wonderfully comfortable, tasteful, and durable pieces. Cozying up on a smooth, buttery couch or reclining in a Barca-lounger that looks as relaxing as it feels. Even playing cards around a beautiful game table will make home where you want to be. See why everyone says, I'm so glad I finally stopped in. I only wish I'd have done it sooner. Nestled in the trees behind Applebee's on Emerald, home at last. Stop in today. And Stoops had to take that time out. If he
look at him. He's ripping off his headset. I think he either sees that there's a problem.
Yeah. If he doesn't take that time out, he's on the field.
12 guys on the field. He's saying Boise State has 12 guys on the field. He wants a penalty. Now, I don't know why they throw a timeout on that. He's wanting a penalty. He's saying they have 12 guys on the field.
He is wrong, at least according to the officials. All right, no timeouts left. That's the big thing here. With 4:24 left to go, the Broncos have it 2nd and 9.
Wow. doesn't make sense.
Don't get too conservative here, Boise. We need a first down, but only one, I think. All right, first down, Boise State. The line of scrimmage, their own 47. From the shotgun, Zabransky calling signals. No timeouts left for Oklahoma. Z, he's got the ball himself, slips and falls. I think that play might have worked, too, but he slipped at the 46, a loss of a yard.
Sure gave it a long fake to Ian Johnson and then took off with it. So, again, I think right now Boise State is in a situation where they're going to have to let the clock run because they're at 3rd and 10. I don't know that you want to throw the ball up in the air right now and just let Oklahoma make a play. But, you know, before we know it, Paul, they're in 3rd and 10.
Yeah.
Okay, they've burned 2 plays.
Yep.
And at the end of the day, that's nothing that they're going to be excited about.
But they shouldn't snap this ball until the play clock is down to nothing. Zabransky calling signals again from the shotgun. Back to pass. Has time. Now he's going to run, and he's hit and dropped for another loss at the 44. But I don't think the Broncos particularly care, as they just want to punt this ball, make Oklahoma drive the field, and kick the 2-point conversion.
Boy, you know, Jared saw an opening, and it just closes so quickly. He had 10 completions the first half. He's only had 5 the second half.
Out of 6, though.
22 yards passing the second half. There's just been very little, if any, offense in the second half for either team.
And that's what the Boise State is thinking. The Broncos now are going to try to make Oklahoma drive the field, which they have not done in the second half.
Corey Stringer with the punt of his life. He's averaged 42 yards on the night.
2:55 left to go. Reggie Smith is deep for Oklahoma. Good snap. Good kick. Smith coming across the field, calls a fair catch and makes it on his backside at the 24. So it's a 76-yard field for the University of Oklahoma with 2:40 left to go in the ball game.
Well, you've got some choices to make if you're Justin Wilcox and the defense that you put on the field. Right now, Boise State choosing to stay with their base defense. 4 defensive linemen in. Mike G. Williams, Andrew Browning, Nick Schleck away, Dennis Ellis. Now Mike G. comes off the field, and BSU goes with a nickel package.
All right, first down, Alexander. Calling signals. Back to pass. Firing. Complete. And a nice open field tackle, but a first down at the 35-yard line.
Quentin Jones, the extra defender in, already getting picked on.
Thompson, just a nice pass that time. A great completion to Quentin Chaney. And it will be first down, Oklahoma. 2:26 left to go. Paul Thompson back to pass, fires.
Ooh!
Caught. And in the middle of the field, they can't seem to tackle young Mr. Martin. He knocked him down finally with a first down again at midfield.
Boy, 2 Broncos tried to jump that route and get a touchdown out of that going the other way.
Jumped
and Danielle
into each other.
Johnson was able to get it before they did. Orlando Scandrick goes limping off the field. He'll have to be replaced.
Looks like a knee.
Have to see that on the replay, but right now you've got Kyle Wilson and Quentin Jones in at the corner.
They got to get him off the field because the clock is stopped here. They need to get that clock moving again. First down for Oklahoma at the Boise State 47-yard line. Kyle Wilson comes in for Scandrick.
Austin Smith on the field as well, Paul J. BSU choosing in this situation to go with 3D linemen.
Thompson back to pass, fires, caught. And again, Chaney steps out of bounds, and the Broncos in a prevent defense. And Oklahoma driving right down the field.
But they don't want them to get anything cheap. Make them earn it down the field and make a 2-point conversion to put you in an opportunity to go to overtime. But don't get beat with tight men-on-men coverage. I mean, Quentin Jones and Kyle Wilson are some fairly inexperienced guys. Quentin's a convert, and, you know, Kyle's a redshirt freshman.
Second down and 2. Line of scrimmage, the 40-yard line of Boise State. Thompson calling signals. Spread offense. Back to pass. Broncos coming after him. He fires over the middle, complete at the 30. Iglesias out of bounds at the 23-yard line with another first down. And the Broncos simply giving him way too much room here.
Iglesias called for the ball. He knew he was lined up on Austin Smith. He knew he could outrun him across the field, and that's exactly what he did.
Broncos putting no pressure on Thompson, electing instead to cover in the backfield. 2 minutes exactly left to go. Clock is stopped. Bronco lead is 8 at the 23-yard line. Oklahoma with the ball. See if the Broncos come here. Thompson changing the play at the line of scrimmage. The Broncos dancing around. Thompson back to pass. Here comes the rush. He gets away from one man. He's hit. Gets away from another. And he's inside the 20. Knocked down at the 17. And at least the clock will continue to run.
Boise State choosing that time to bring pressure on Thompson. He couldn't find his man.
Browning's helmet is broken, and Andrew Browning has to come out of the game.
Hello, Ian Smart.
Second down, back to pass. Thompson fires, incomplete. Oh, and they're going to call pass interference on Quentin Jones. Oh, boy, it's coming apart here with 1:31 left.
And it's really not a composure issue. To me, it's just loose coverage. Quentin's probably not somebody ideally they'd like to see there.
Number 23. Spot foul. Automatic.
Wasn't much there. Wasn't really much there at all. The ball was not really catchable. That's a ridiculous call.
Still, it's on Quentin because he's not in the right position. The man is between him and the ball. You lose every time with that. That's like going over the back in basketball. You're going to get called for the foul.
Schlickaway comes in. Broncos beefing up the line of scrimmage. That's Browning. I'm sorry, came back in with his helmet fixed. First and goal for Oklahoma at the 6-yard line. Thompson back to pass, fires over the middle, almost intercepted, touchdown. Oh, it's almost intercepted and went right through the hands of David Shields and was caught by Quentin Chaney. Now, ball game right here with the 2-point conversion for Oklahoma.
And they've got no time to think about it.
Nope. They have no timeouts. Minute 26 left.
Bob Stoops all the way out on the field. And Boise State's Fiesta Bowl hopes hinge on this play.
Yep. Well, at least the hopes of winning it in regulation. Well, that's not even true. Broncos still have 2 timeouts. At the 3-yard line, they will try for 2.
Oklahoma scrambling with personnel packages, running tight ends off and on. The play clock's down to 10.
Out of the huddle they come. This is a ball game right here. Thompson calling signals, going for 2. Broncos lead by 2. Thompson fires for the end zone. It's incomplete. Then they throw a penalty flag. Oh, my.
Didn't look catchable.
The ball came down out of bounds.
Didn't look catchable. Looked like it was way too high. Orlando Skandrick caught with his hands in the cookie jar, according to the ref.
It doesn't have to get out of the guy's way. Oh, not a good call. And Oklahoma gets another shot from 1.5 yards away.
They just love to go to 6'5" Quentin Chaney. And they're just saying Skandrick bumped him way too much.
I don't know.
Boy. Ohio State got away with one of those against Miami and won a national championship.
Yep.
That may have cost Boise State this game to win it now.
All right, here we go. Thompson calling signals. Going for 2 again. Broncos jumping around on defense. Thompson fires for the end zone. And a penalty flag is down. And I don't know. I don't think this is going to count. Penalty flag right at the line of scrimmage. It's against Oklahoma, I believe. We will wait. Illegal shift on Oklahoma. So that'll move them back 5 yards. So still, now we'll have our 3rd try. A penalty on each team. We'll have our 3rd try for the 2-point conversion.
Boise State
right there,
jumping around on defense.
Right there. They got 2 guys in motion. You can't do that. 2 men in motion, the tight end, and then a wide receiver went back the other way.
2 passes in the corner, though. You'd think they like that 6'5" matchup. They've got to get away from that.
All right.
And they send him out there again.
Yep.
On Quentin Jones. Chaney on Jones.
Third try for 2 points. Broncos lead is 2. Oklahoma. Thompson back to pass. Pump fake. He's running around. Fires. No. Yes. 2-point conversion is good. Iglesias with a diving catch in the middle of the field. And we are tied at 28 with 1:26 left to go in regulation in the Fiesta Bowl, the 36th annual edition here in Glendale, Arizona.
Boy, third time's a charm. I think it's difficult to defend 3 goal line opportunities like that with a 6'5" kid, and they finally faked it to him and went over the middle.
No, they're reviewing it. Don't go away. They're reviewing it. I'm not sure he caught it. The ball was low to the ground. You can't. Ooh.
Wrong angle.
I don't know.
We'll get different angles to be able to review it from here.
Yeah. How would this be if they didn't allow this? We will check it out.
I may go out the back door if that happens.
We are not sure what happened. The ball was very low to the ground. It was very close to a trap. Let's see. I don't know if we're going to get to see it or not.
They're showing it on the instant replay boards here at the University of Phoenix Stadium, but Fox has only chosen to have one replay angle, which was inconclusive. You need the rear end zone shot to see whether or not he caught the ball. Looked like from here Iglesias did.
Well, they couldn't tell, and I don't think you'll be able to tell on this one either. I don't know. I'm not sure. I guess he did.
I think he did. Boise State sending out their kick return team. 1:26 to go, Paul J. 2 timeouts. They only need 3 out of this deal. They got plenty of time. Nothing to lose here, which I think is a great way to go at this point in the game.
Yeah.
I always think you've got the advantage. I talked to Anthony Montgomery about it.
The play stands called.
Play stands. It is a 2-point conversion, and we are tied at 28.
I talked to Montgomery about a game-winning kick at Media Day, and he said, you know what, when you're in a kicking situation and you have nothing to lose or go to overtime, so those are the easiest ones at all. They're the easiest ones to make. Nothing to lose.
Yeah.
Now, BSU's not had a great second half, but they have dropped some passes. Now they need to start catching them.
They do. That's all they need to do. They need to catch enough of them to get close enough. Rashawn Scott and Quentin Jones deep. Q has it 2 yards deep up to the 5, the 10, the 15. He's at 20 to 25 and knocked down from behind just as he was about to step into the open. First down, Boise State at their own 25-yard line. Oh, that was close. That was close.
Not a seam, but it sure closed pretty quickly.
Oh, but he had everybody beaten. And down he went. First down, Boise State. 1:16 left to go for Boise State. They need to get about 50 yards. From the shotgun, Zabransky back to pass. Has time, fires upfield, intercepted. Could be a touchdown for Oklahoma. It is. Oklahoma wins. At least takes the lead late as Zabransky threw an interception. And this is the 3rd consecutive bowl game he has thrown an interception on his last pass, as that was picked off, and Oklahoma's Marcus Walker into the end zone with the touchdown. And oh my goodness.
Boy, they waited for the best play to come at the end. Oklahoma's defense was known to be very capitalistic on plays like that when you wait to throw it, and that really wasn't even close as Jared went across his body to the sideline, and the route must have been miscommunicated. See whether he fell in and out, or he fell out of bounds or not.
Oh, he might have stepped out.
But Marcus Walker was just all alone. It was almost as if Zabransky threw it to him, and there was a miscommunication with the receiver on the play, because there was nobody there. It was an out pattern that Zabransky thought should have been run, and Walker was the only guy that defended it because the wide receiver continued on downfield.
Touchdown. He didn't step out. It was close, but he didn't step out.
Yeah, they'll review everything at this point.
And the legacy of Jared Zabransky, interception in the Liberty Bowl, interception in the MPC Computers Bowl, interception in the Fiesta Bowl. Oh, my goodness.
Well, they have to hope for a miracle comeback at this point with 1:02 to go. And you're...
Following the review, the interception was good. Runner inbound. Touchdown.
So Oklahoma scores twice in the last minute and a half.
Well, DOZ has to hold his composure together because he's still got an opportunity to get him down the field.
Broncos still with their 2 timeouts. Oh, boy. PAT is up and good. So Oklahoma leads for the first time today with a minute 2 left to go, 35-28. And they will kick off to Boise State. I'm speechless.
Well,
3 years in a row this has happened.
There is just absolutely nothing else you can say. But that was a miscommunication. We won't know later. Now Z, right now, may be thinking, I threw the ball where he was supposed to be. The guy who really made me upset is the guy that did not cut off that pattern. Because the ball was thrown where the guy was supposed to be. Now, maybe Todd knows who the receiver was on that play because our replays cut away pretty quickly and we were following the ball. Maybe Todd could tell us who was the intended receiver on that play.
Todd Moss, did you see that?
He doesn't see it either, so we'll have to see a better replay angle. And
well, still a minute 2 left to go. Broncos have fought a good fight, but boy, you hate to lose it this way. Minute 2, 2 timeouts. Time for about half a dozen plays.
Better be good ones because Oklahoma's going to be coming with some pretty good pressure.
They'll be coming with everything.
Well, they certainly won't be saying that there wasn't a game and all that, but I don't think anybody will be satisfied to even hear that stuff.
Nope.
Really won't.
Nope.
Deaf ears.
Kickoff. Jones takes it too deep. He's to the 10, the 15, the 20, and down at the 23. And there is 54 seconds left to go. And the clock will start running almost immediately. As soon as the teams are out on the field. And Boise State now needs a miracle. They need a touchdown and a conversion. Boy, you just feel for Jared Zabransky. This, unfortunately, will be his legacy. Back to pass. Z runs out of the pocket, sets up, fires downfield. Complete at the 50. And a beautiful comeback block.
What a block by Gerard Rabb, giving Boise State some life, PJ. They're on the 42-yard line in one snap of the ball. One play, 40 seconds to go. They've still got 2 timeouts, and it's 1st and 10. You can't hit the end zone with 2 more plays.
That's right. The line of scrimmage is the Oklahoma 42 from the shotgun, Zabransky. Broncos still with 2 timeouts. There's the snap. Z back to pass. And he's sacked. At midfield, they've got to use the timeout now.
He almost fumbled the ball.
Broncos have called a timeout with 30 seconds left.
Timeout. Boise State.
Boy, he got hammered that time.
Timeout.
Well, that's the heat that starts coming when they know you're going to throw it. Boise State's protection, I think, has been great all day, but right now it's a critical time. Second half. You give up 3 chances.
And the Broncos just simply have not had enough offense in the second half to hold them off.
No, you got to credit the defense all day long. Adrian Peterson has not had a great day. They've given him almost 20 chances, 52 yards.
Yep.
One of his worst outings probably ever.
And Johnson, 22 carries, 94 yards. But
yeah, it's no time for moral victories because we got 30 seconds to go.
Yep.
And there could be a lot more football to go.
Got to think end zone here. Boise State around their coaches. 1 timeout left. 30 ticks on the clock. Broncos down 35-28 to the University of Oklahoma. Oklahoma celebrating across the way. Boise State fans in shocked silence on the near sideline.
50 yards away from getting them in a tie situation.
Broncos back out on the football field. Bryson James wide to the left. It's been a great football game. You'd hate to see him lose it on an interception in the last minute.
Still 1 touchdown, 1 timeout to go.
At the midfield mark, back to pass to Zabransky. Sets up, has time, firing. James is out there, he dropped it. Might have been knocked away. A fairly difficult catch, but it was inside the 30. Would have been another first down.
Boy, it was almost the same route that Vinny Peretta caught against Boston College. To get Boise State in a position to win that football game. And, Dreisen was basically in the same position Vinny was.
Yeah, he dropped the ball. He should have caught it. Got high in the air, hit him right in the numbers, and he dropped it.
Dreisen James stays in the game, as do Legadou Nane and Vinny Peretta and Gerard Rabb. A 4-receiver set, 2 to each side.
Third down and 20, and now coming on late is Schumann. The Broncos only had 10 men on the field. Back to pass. Zabransky steps up, firing. Ooh, where's the pass interference flag there?
Nowhere.
Gerard Rabb was hit from behind, and they say it was perfectly timed, and it'll be 4th down for Boise State with 18 seconds left.
This would be a tougher conversion for sure.
Yeah.
And you've still got a timeout to burn, so you don't have to rule out the middle of the field. Jeremy Childs rotates in, though, and Ian Johnson comes back in the game.
Johnson on a draw play and a quick timeout. Oklahoma fans think they've won it. They're jumping up and down on the sidelines. Boise State backs against the wall. Zabransky might be the last play of his career. Back to pass. Sets up. Fires. Caught.
Oh! Hook and lateral, and the Broncos are going to score. And Rabb is in for the touchdown. They caught it, the hook and lateral, and the Broncos have scored. And an extra point will tie it up. Oh, baby, 7 seconds left to go. James Bond on the clock, 007. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Oregon State went for 2 and won the ball game. Boise State's going to kick the extra
point. They
point.
go 1. They like their momentum and their chances.
The hook and lateral. Unbelievable.
Old school, baby.
That's what you call it. Bob Stoops stunned on the sideline. Anthony Montgomery needs to make this kick. The pass complete for 30 yards. The lateral for the other 20. Montgomery on to try the PAT. It's up. It is good. And we're tied with 7 seconds left. 35-35. Oh, boy. We'll hold it here.
Give it another shot, Paul J. Is all time, all day for Gerard.
James, and he lateraled it to Gerard Rabb, and Rabb outran the secondary for the touchdown.
What a gutsy call. Flawless execution.
On 4th down and 20.
Just great execution by some kids who probably worked at this thousands of times. That's gutsy, great play calling.
Unbelievable. Carl Benson's here. He can't take it. He's going down to the field.
That's great discipline, though. I think Boise State makes those kinds of plays because they spend the time in the summer and the spring, and they make the practice perfect. And that's what happens.
How you feel right now.
Paul J., what a great performance by the Broncos. Gutty, they came here to show the football world that they could play, and they certainly have done it. And regardless of the outcome now, this has been one great performance by the Broncos. I'm extremely, extremely proud, and now we can just pull it off in overtime, huh? Let's do it.
Chris Peterson thinks so. Boise State now will kick off. 7 seconds to go in regulation, Paul J.
They'll dribble this one out there, I think.
Exactly. You'd think you'd just put it in center field. Just dribbling it down.
It's dribbling down the field. The clock will be running out here. There's the ball picked up by Oklahoma, and down the runner goes. An up man at the 40-yard line. We're going to overtime.
Welcome back, University of Phoenix Stadium. Jeff Caves and Paul J. Schneider, somewhat in a sense of stunned amazement as everybody goes to overtime. The satellite companies go to overtime. The networks go to overtime. And the country is in overtime, tuned in to this football game. Right now, you realize, on the East Coast, very late.
Yeah, it is.
So it's 12:40 at night.
People will be sleepy at work tomorrow. And Boise State, again, elects to start on defense as they won the coin toss to start overtime. And the teams will take it from the 25-yard line. And we'll have normal drives from the 25. If you score a touchdown and kick the extra point, that's great. And then after 2, you have to go for 2. But the Broncos would like to hold them to a field goal or to nothing and then score a touchdown or a field goal, whatever, to win it. But the Broncos have elected to go on defense first, as most people do, in overtime.
And just looking at the momentum of the second half, Oklahoma's ability to throw or run and use their 6'5 receiver, I have to give them the edge right now because Boise State's offense, outside of that one play, PJ, has not really delivered the goods. Bryson James has delivered today. 2 touchdown catches. That huge catch and the ladder throw to Gerard Rabb is big time. We can't see that Oklahoma Fiesta Bowl hasn't had an overtime that we're aware of.
Nope. All right, here we go. Handoff, Adrian Peterson. Peterson has room at the 20, the 15, the 10. And he's into the end zone for the touchdown on one play. Oh, boy. Adrian Peterson, a 25-yard touchdown run.
That didn't take long.
No.
So they'll just go with one and say, okay, match that.
Well, Boise State knows what they got to do now. They got to score a touchdown. As Adrian Peterson, a little slant play, went 25 yards for the score.
Wow. I mean, you can hold a good man down, but not for long.
Boy, he got a heck of a block and a missed tackle by Gerald Alexander, and that was that.
And Corey Hall tried to make the tackle and just couldn't do it as Oklahoma now lines up, Paul J., for a one-point conversion.
Yep. Here comes the snap. The kick is on its way. It's up. It's good. So, the score now, 42-35, Oklahoma. Timeout on the field. We'll be back. Boise State will have the ball after these words on the All-State Broncos Sports Network. Well, the Broncos had practiced that hook and lateral, but that's a play that runs once and works once.
Yeah, you got to grind it out and earn some things here.
Vinny Peretta is in there at tailback. This could mean some trickery, the former quarterback. Man in motion is Lau. There's the pitch to Peretta. He wanted to throw it back, and he couldn't, but he's inside the, he's back to the line of scrimmage.
Wanted to throw it back to Z.
Yep.
For whatever reason, decided not to. He had the play there should he want to go to it.
So now second down and 10 yards to go. Boise State here in overtime against Oklahoma in the Fiesta Bowl at the 25 with Oklahoma leading 42-35.
I wonder if that play just wasn't a little too greedy, you know, going for the trickery one more time.
Yep. Bryson James, Legadou Nene, and Rabb all right to the left. Now Rabb in motion left to right. Zabransky rolling out. Turns, throws back, caught. There's room to run for Schumann. Vaults a man at the 25, knocked down at the 22. Looked like the play was going to go, but simply not a fast-footed guy, Schumann. And down he went, and the Broncos now with 3rd and 8.
Well-designed play and just too much pursuit angles for Oklahoma. And ran down, like you said, a guy that's really not the fastest guy in the open field. But Boise State definitely has 2 more shots at this and may start concerning themselves more with getting a first down rather than getting it in the end zone.
Yeah, they need 8 for the first down. Oklahoma, boy, they got 9 in a box. Now they back off a little bit. Broncos call signals. Back to pass. Zabransky has time, fires, caught. Again, it's Schumann inside the 15. First down, Boise State.
That worked.
That worked good. Broncos with a first down, keeping their hopes alive here in overtime.
There's a kid that comes back and makes 2 huge catches. Had a big one in the Fort Worth Bowl, a one that didn't work out against Boston College, but right here he comes up pretty big. And boy, is he going to have a very difficult couple of shoes to replace when Chris Peterson goes to say, okay, who can play like Derek Schumann?
Yeah. Out of the huddle comes Boise State. Line of scrimmage is the 14. 1st and 10, Broncos. Zabransky calling signals. Childs wide to the left. Man in motion. Back to pass. No, they hand it off. Peretta, and he's down near the 10-yard line. A gain of about 4.
You know, Vinny Peretta's always involved in some kind of chicanery, and it's not worked out today. There hasn't been one play to him that's worked. And they're showing confidence in going to him in certainly the most critical of situations.
Schumann, Johnson, Rabb, Putnam all come back in for Boise State.
Legadou out. Surprised that Leg's not getting an opportunity to make a play here.
Rabb wide to the right. James wide to the left. 2nd down and 8. Zabransky hands it off. Ian Johnson, and he's down close to a first down at the 4. I think he might have it.
Huge call, great run, big blocks on the right side as, Woodruff just collapsed his man, and the only guy that saved the day again was Rufus Alexander.
Just powered his way down. 3rd down and a yard to go. Broncos shift around. Zabransky calling signals. They need a touchdown on this drive. They hand it off. Ian Johnson, I don't know if he made it or not.
Called him down.
He was down. He did fumble the football, but after he was down.
Wow.
See where his forward motion is.
Not much.
So now here we go. 4th down. The Broncos, noses bloodied, hanging on the ropes here late in this heavyweight match. Oh, that might have been a fumble. No, his knee's down. His knee was down. His knee was down way back. That's why they marked the ball back there.
You know, in these situations, typically they've gone quick snap and snuck Jared Zabransky. They're going to think about it now because it's a 4th and 2.
Yeah, it's not just the yard. Boise State's going to take a timeout. His knee was down, obviously. They can review this play till the cows come home. His knee was down before it fumbled.
But it gives Boise State just another opportunity to sit back and think about, okay, what's Oklahoma expecting us to do?
And what can we do?
And then what can we do? Can we execute that? What kind of goal line plays do we have left to dial up? And remember, against Boston College last year, BSU had a lot of success running it down and then went to the pass, and there were people that said, why don't you continue running it? And the answer from Chris Peterson, the offensive coordinator at the time, was we ran out of plays.
Yeah, we just simply ran out.
We did not have any more great run plays. Now, BSU so far in the evening has had 64 snaps overall. They've run the ball 35 times for only 110 yards.
Yeah.
So you can't say the run game has has got them here.
No, not at all. The run play kept minute in the second half, and nobody is left here. This is a tremendous ball game, and 42-35 in overtime.
But if I'm throwing the ball, I'm probably looking for a matchup that I can win, and that tells me Legadou Nene. That's the guy that I would like to think would be in the game at this time to be able to get a pass. I don't know that I would run the ball.
Not sure you got a 2-yard run with 9 guys in the box. Play action maybe, throw it on the outside. The Broncos are on the far hash mark.
Or put Z in that situation to roll to his right. To roll to his right and make his own decision on whether he needs to run or throw for it.
All right, the play was, as we told you, he was down, Ian Johnson.
Now, BSU hustles to get out there, and the more they can catch Oklahoma sleeping, the better off they are. They've run that diamond package, off to the right or left.
Yep. Ian Johnson comes out of the lineup. Now a bunch of horses are coming out onto the field to keep the fans off the field.
I don't think Oklahoma will be storming the field.
No. Broncos out of the huddle.
If they did, it'd be a big compliment.
Yep, this is a ball game right here. 4th down and 2.
To the shotgun.
Boise State and the shotgun.
Oh, my gosh. Vinny Peretta at quarterback.
Yep.
Z in motion.
Peretta is the quarterback. The ball is snapped. Peretta rolling to the right. Fires. Got a man out there. Touchdown, Boise State. Oh, mama. Great catch again, Derek Schumann. 19-91. And the Broncos have moved to within 1 at 42-41.
Now, what was I saying about Vinny Peretta?
Everything works when Vinny's in there.
Everything he touches turns to gold.
Oh, great pass by Peretta to Schumann, and a nice catch, nice concentration by Schu. He threw it right over the top. Schumann just reached up and made the catch.
PJ, what you saw right there, to me,
Broncos are going for 2.
Derek Schumann did not catch the ball. He caught the kitchen sink. Now what have they got left?
They're going for 2.
He comes up quickly. They go for the win here. This is the season.
All right, Broncos going for 2. Here we go. 42-41, Oklahoma. And timeout taken by Oklahoma.
Now they may rethink it.
Yeah, they had him.
Well, they may have. They may still stay with the strategy. I think that Coach Pete is looking at his play calls, Paul, and saying, okay, we know we're not going head up and getting it done. We're going with all kinds of tricks, and we're running out. So we better get it over with here because we're almost out of place.
Yep. Well, Oregon State did this earlier this year and won, or earlier this week in bowl season, and won their bowl game 29-28, went for 2.
What an unconventional series of play calls here at the end that finally got some momentum going.
Isn't it funny, because Oklahoma, one play, 25-yard run by Adrian Peterson. That's their stock and trade. Boise State comes out, smoke and mirrors. Schumann's involved on 4 of the 6 plays.
I just think it's safe to say that at times, I don't know that I've ever been there in anything I ever do, but you're pushed to your limit. And I think Boise State's offense has been pushed to the absolute limit of what they're capable of doing tonight. And they're saying, this is it, guys. We've got one more play in us, and then we're totally exhausted, and it's over. One way or the over, this is it.
Broncos are going for 2. Well, they'll talk about this for years to come, no matter how this play comes out.
Take it away, Paul J.
Boise State out of the huddle, trailing 42-41, going for a 2-point conversion from the 3-yard line. And it's a fake play, and they're going to score! Ian Johnson! They rolled the ball to Ian Johnson, and he scored! They left it down on the field. Zabransky faked the pass. Johnson picked up the ball and ran it in for a touchdown. And the Broncos have won the Fiesta Bowl. Can you believe it? Boise State on a trick play, another trick play. Zabransky faked the pass, the ball on the ground, picked up by Ian Johnson. In he goes for 2, and the Broncos are the Fiesta Bowl champions. They are 13-0, and Boise State 13-0 on the season, and they'll be a top 5 team at the end of the year, and they have defeated the Oklahoma Sooners in an absolute genius coaching job by Chris Peterson.
There was a time this year earlier where Boise State used the same play, Paul J., as Jared Zabransky looked to his right, faked the pass, and his ball was in the left hand, and he simply just put it behind him, and Ian Johnson ran to the left corner of the end zone. There was nobody there to stop him.
Unbelievable. The ball is on the ground. Picked up and run in by Ian Johnson. Absolutely incredible. And that play was so wide open, Jeff, that, it's absolutely incredible. And there's some emotion by Chris Peterson as he is running around with a big smile on his face. And the Broncos have outcoached Oklahoma. They have outcoached the $4 million coach and have won the Fiesta Bowl.
In honor of Jack Buck, I can't believe what I just saw. Absolutely incredible. Another behind-the-back sleight of hand by Zabransky, and unbelievable. Z fakes the pass with his right, has the ball in his left, gives it to Ian Johnson, who trots into the end zone. Absolutely incredible. It will be an ESPN Classic, and it's one for the ages. I'm happy for Jared Zabransky, who really put himself now in a position to erase some of the things that we do remember, but
2 big drives, 2 huge drives, and here come the Broncos back to the near side of the field.
And they left it all out there, and that's just an unbelievable set of circumstances that will long be remembered.
This is the story game. This is the game. This game will be called the game. Boise State is a national player with this win here tonight. Absolutely incredible.
Wow.
Unbelievable. They're setting up the big stage, and we will have the presentation of that gorgeous trophy to the Boise State Broncos, who defeat Oklahoma 43-42 in the best ball game I have ever seen.
No plane needed to touch down tomorrow afternoon at about 1 or so in Boise, Idaho, Paul J. These kids will fly without assistance.
They outcoached Bob Stoops, no doubt about it.
Well, they
first
threw
with the hook and lateral, and then with the 2-point conversion fake. They're asking the Bronco fans to get off the playing field, which is like asking ants to leave a picnic. It's not going to work. The Bronco fans now are coming off the field. The team's staying on there.
Governor-elect Butch Otter, or is he now officially governor?
He's the governor.
All right, as of today, Dr. Bob Custer will also be part of this apparently, and of course Chris Peterson. They want the players to come join them somehow, and good luck with that.
You have to feel good for Zabransky and Schumann, 2 seniors, both of whom have been maligned during their careers. But boy, not now.
I just think you feel good for the whole program and for everybody associated in the city and the State Board of Education members who all traveled here to witness what a state unified can produce. And this state was unified behind this effort.
Ian Johnson outrushed Adrian Peterson 101-77. Zabransky threw for 262.
BSU's assistant coaches come roaming and running onto the sidelines. We'll have a full post game with all the stats.
That's awesome.
Brian Harson and Wes Nurse come joining the celebration, if you will, on the field, and I'm sure Fox Network just wants to go home. I mean, it's 1 o'clock on the East Coast or so.
Yeah, this is the best ball game they've had this year.
Yeah, it's almost 1 in the morning, and I know that our KBOI game night program will go on very late this evening. Chris Walton and Brett Recamp will give you all kinds of opportunities to talk about an historic evening, Paul J. It's not often that in anything we do, people travel 18 hours in 20,000 increments to do anything.
Headline on ESPN.com, Life of the Party. Scoring an invitation to the Elite BS Party wasn't good enough for Boise State. The Broncos are the hit of the whole BCS. Boise State shocks OU 43-42 in overtime.
One Boise State reveler getting a little out of control, falling out of the stands, and has got itself
a police escort, as they say in the business.
Yeah, a posse of fans to help him out.
Yeah, and they're getting somebody else here. The young guy being assisted off the field. Broncos have won here at the Fiesta Bowl. Absolutely incredible. Beautiful.
Tommy, she said yes. Ian Johnson proposing to the head cheerleader at Boise State. Does it get any better than this in college football? I don't have anything else left to say.
All right.
Undefeated season.
That's
and
amazing.
A proposal on the field.
Ian Johnson proposed, and it was accepted. He's crying, she's crying, everybody's crying. This is a great ball game.
Hopefully he thought that through. Britney Spears did this once, and it didn't last long.
Well, I'm not going to even go there. All right, so we've had a ball game, a win, a proposal, an acceptance. We'll be back with a post-game show. After these words, the final score, Boise State 43, Oklahoma 42. Man in motion. Handoff, Johnson inside. He might have got there. He's knocked down at the 1-foot line.
They gave it to him.
Touchdown on the far side. The guy from the far side runs in, gives him the touchdown.
Now, once again, live from the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl in Glendale, Arizona, here's the voice of the Broncos, Paul J. Schneider and Jeff Cage.
The chairman of the Tostitos Bowl, LG.
All right, let's go down to the field.
Senior Vice President of Sales, Randy Melville. Ellie, let's start it off with you on a great, great evening.
Thank you so much, Chris. It is my honor to present the 36th Annual Tostitos Fiesta Bowl Game Trophy on behalf of our Board of Directors and our 2,600 volunteers to head coach Chris Peterson and the Western Athletic Conference champions, the Boise State Broncos. Congratulations on your tremendous victory.
Randy, do the honor.
Coach, on behalf of the 18,000-plus Frito-Lay frontline employees, I want to wish you and your team an outstanding victory. Way to go, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. We really appreciate this one here is for the Bronco Nation right here.
Coach, do you feel like you shocked the world tonight?
I'll tell you what, our guys fight and claw and scratch, and they play as hard as anybody in the country. And when you do that, you know you always got a chance. All the credit goes to these warriors out here.
Let's be honest, though. I don't think there's any more pages in that playbook. I mean, that last one that forced overtime, where did you come up with that?
Well, I got to tell you this. the 2 backup QBs are the ones been calling for it all game long. And so the credit, there's a lot of credit that goes in a lot of places. And it starts with Taylor Tharp and Bush Handem as much as anybody for calling that play right there.
Coach, obviously it means the world to Boise State and to the Western Athletic Conference, but what does this mean to all of the mid-majors, if you will, out there?
Well, you know, we're just so happy that the BCS people tweaked the system to give us a shot to get here, because when you get here, you never know what can happen, like tonight.
Coach, you're not necessarily stronger or faster, you're just better. And you're also the 2007 Tostitos Fiesta Bowl champions. Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you very much.
Tom Brenneman, take it away, buddy.
All right, that's incredible. I think Dirk Kempthorne's down there dressed in blue and orange, the Secretary of the Interior.
I was going to tell you, Paul, that the entire State Board of Education was flown here and witnessed this at the expense of Boise State, which I think is an unbelievable experience to unite the state that way. So
no question,
they're down here enjoying it as well.
And you can hear the fans, Boise State, Boise State. And there's not a Sooner fan to be found.
Well,
the only people on the other side are Boise State fans, and they are the only people left here.
Bob Stoops will be getting to the press conference podium, and maybe we'll get a chance to listen to how Coach Stoops...
You guys enjoying this out there? All right, it is time right now to present the offensive and defensive players of the game. Ellie, why don't you help us out?
Thank you, Chris. And thank you, Coach Peterson. And again, congratulations. I am now honored to announce the Tostitos Fiesta Bowl Player Awards. For Offensive Player of the Game, quarterback Jared Zabransky.
Come on up.
Jared Zabransky, the Offensive Player of the Game. And what an honor for him, after throwing that interception, to come back, lead a drive with a minute to go. And then lead the Broncos to a drive, a touchdown drive in overtime.
Jared?
Amazing.
Pretty good way to close out a career.
Man, I tell you what, just want to thank these fans for coming down and supporting us. Thank my teammates for sticking with me till the end. You know, it'd probably been pretty easy to give up on us there with a minute left. But this team has a lot of magic. We're going to continue to do that.
I'm not so sure the hook and ladder ever works in a backyard game that I'm playing in. How did you guys pull that off?
Man, we practice that almost every week when we're doing our 2-minute drill. And our defense gets us on it every time. I mean, it just seemed to work. Unbelievable.
You know, I think a lot of people were curious whether or not the kids from Boise State could stare down the big bad bully from Oklahoma. What do you have to say to those people?
And these are a bunch of men that are standing behind me that just went 13-0. So you can talk about that.
Gotta love it, Jared Zabransky.
Well, the defense certainly in the first 3 quarters of this game did the job as well, and so there is also a defensive honor to hand out. Ellie?
That's correct, Chris. For Defensive Player of the Game, safety Marty Tadman.
Tadman, with the interception, got the player of the game on defense. So Boise State were both sides of the ball.
Marty, you guys knew that turnovers would be a key part of this game, obviously, that you needed to force some turnovers to get your team in it. You had that one that was critical at the start of the second half.
Let's go down
obviously,
to Bob
you guys knew you had to do your job
Bob
out there.
Stoops now?
That's what we've been talking about all year long is turnovers since the first meeting we ever had.
He's waiting. Okay, he's waiting.
Everyone came through today. Everyone made plays. Coaches called great defenses, and when you get on the field, playmakers are going to play.
Why doesn't this team back down? Especially when you're staring a team, a top 10 team like Oklahoma that has been in national championship games in recent years?
My question is, why doesn't anyone else back down? We're top 10 too. I'm tired of hearing about us being the little guys. I think we went out and proved the nation wrong here. I'm tired of people doubting us. People will learn now that we got the respect now. Don't doubt Boise State.
You got the respect and then some. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Marty
Boise
Chadman.
State. Enjoy the time. Thank you very much for coming out to the 2007 Tostitos Fiesta Bowl.
Let's go to Bob Stoops now at his press conference.
It's not true. What am I going to say about it at this point? So,
in the front left. Bob, after they get back in the game with the hook and ladder play, after that, are you guys expecting anything and everything at that point? play or anything like that?
Yeah, but we've looked at many through our preparation and are always looking for them. But that's not, and I want to give them credit because I thought they executed it in a really good way. But 4th and 19, you do get some things like that. And we were in as conservative and good a coverage as you can be in, and they executed it. Their timing was just happened to be right, and I think one of our inside backers slips, as the ball's thrown, so we can't, get on the receiver quick enough before he can lateral. It's just the circumstances, the way it happened, they hit it perfect, and again, to their credit.
Front right.
Adrian, this is obviously very emotional for you. Last time you may have touched the ball at the University of Oklahoma, you scored a touchdown. Just your thoughts that you're going through right now.
My head is spinning right now. I don't know. It was just crazy, the play that, they ended with. It was a crazy play. I don't know. I don't know, man. My head is spinning right now, to be honest.
Right here in the front.
Coach, can you talk about your team coming back when you were down at the last in Marcus Walker's play and the 3 2-point tries? Just what all happened there?
Well, a lot happened, and again, I'm just proud of that. Everyone can make of this what they want, but when you get, these guys are great to work with, and even though we made our mistakes, dug ourselves a hole, we dug out of it, and with those plays, and I'm proud of them the way they did and executed, and make 2 extra point, 2-point conversions, and Marcus makes a great play after giving up a big play early in the game to give ourselves an opportunity to win, and just wasn't meant to be.
Over on the left.
Adrian, I know you said your head's spinning, but what's your thought process going to be as far as making your decision? How are you going to work that out?
Well, I got a little time, so basically just sit back, find a little time to relax and just think over everything, and then I'll make my decision. No rush.
Right on the left.
Adrian, how did it feel to be back out on the field? And I noticed at one point you got in the huddle, and after a turnover, you kind of got the guys fired up again. Did it just come back naturally to you, and did it just feel good to be back on the field again?
Yeah, exactly. It felt good, to be back out with the guys. The guys, the offensive line done gelled and improved throughout the season. So it was great to, just get back out and play with the guys. So.
Front right.
Paul, talk about your night, if you will, because you had a couple of turnovers, but you bounced back and just had a storybook ending from an offensive standpoint and from your standpoint.
Yeah, started off a little rough. Made some passes that I normally wouldn't make. I think I might have been trying to do too much. Being a big game, so I wasn't really playing within myself, but. We were able to regroup. The guys did a great job staying focused towards the end of the game, and never doubting ourselves, never not believing in we could come back. So started off. It was definitely rough. Wasn't really nervous. Just was trying to play. Was trying to do too much really.
Here in the center.
Coach, in the overtime, most of their plays were misdirection, trickery.
This post-game coverage on KBOI is brought to you by Master Rooter. You're listening to the Oklahoma Post-Fiesta Bowl press conference.
Yeah, the 2 things we were looking for were sprint to the trips guys out there. But we made a special point to emphasize the backside. We call it the nub side, away from the end over, to look for something, throw back, something back to that side. And we didn't do a very good job defending it.
In front.
Adrian, I know you haven't made your decision yet, but could you talk about the last sequence there, scoring on what may be the last play of your career, and then what happened as you just sat there and watched on the sidelines and couldn't do anything?
Came out, knew his play, was called, and basically, guys was blocking. Was able to make a good cut back to the inside and bounce it back out. Had great blocking by the receivers, and was able to get in the end zone. At that point, I was, excited and, I don't know, just ready for the defense to get out there, and get the job done. But unfortunately, it didn't happen that way.
back left.
Hey, Bob, if you could answer, a little bit of a two-parter. Your offense seemed to, when they got going with the little opportunities, I think you went 5 of 6 3-and-outs, or 6 of 7. So the tide kind of turned in the second half a little bit, didn't it?
Well, sure, but the first half, again, there's, defensively, there's 2 plays. There's 2 big plays, and I thought their quarterback on the second one just makes it. We're all over him. He swings it back out to their sideline, and other than that, though, we were playing good defensively. Offensively, I felt we didn't do. We were pretty average to poor in the first half. Of course, with we didn't do a very good job running the football at all. Again, to their credit, they did nice jobs taking it away, and the turnovers, really hurt us. In the second half, we started executing a little bit better and making some plays.
2 more questions here in the front.
Oklahoma postgame press conference is being brought to you in part by Blue Cross of Idaho and Eye Associates here on KBOI, Paul.
Well, I tell you what, the Bronco Motors Hyundai Nissan postgame goes on. Do we have the play of the game queued up? Well,
yes, we do.
Okay, we do have the play of the game. Here's our Burger King Whopper play of the game. Score is tied. Oh, no, the score is 42-41 Oklahoma. After Boise State scores in overtime to move to within 1, they decide to go for 2. It sounds like this.
Take it away, Paul J.
Boise State out of the huddle, trailing 42-41, going for a 2-point conversion from the 3-yard line. And it's a fake play, and they're going to score! Ian Johnson! They rolled the ball to Ian Johnson, and he scored! They left it down on the field. Zabransky faked the pass. Johnson picked up the ball and ran it in for a touchdown. And the Broncos have won the Fiesta Bowl. Can you believe it? Boise State on a trick play, another trick play. Zabransky faked the pass. Okay, that was the play of the game. We couldn't hear it, but you heard it back home. And that, of course, the 2-point conversion on a beautiful fake by Jared Zabransky. Gets the ball to Ian Johnson. He scores the 2-point conversion untouched. And that was our Burger King Whopper play of the game. Burger King reminds you there are 1,537 different ways to have a Whopper. Have it your way. Defensive player of the game. I think we ought to go with the MVPs. Yeah. Marty Tadman, interception for a touchdown, played very well today. That's brought to you by Elixir Industries, the best metal roofing and custom trims manufactured right in Boise. The best in the business. Offensive player of the game, Jared Zabransky, will do what they did. A terrific night, 19 of 29, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, 262 yards, and he ran the ball 9 times for 8 yards as well. Your diamond in the rough player of the game. This is a guy who didn't start, came off, did things very well. I tell you what, it's pretty hard to get around Vinny Peretta, who was so instrumental on the Broncos' last drive. Carried the ball on the direct snap, then threw the touchdown pass to Derek Schumann in overtime on 4th down to tie the game, and that's pretty nice.
You talk about rough. I mean, Vinny had 4 or 5 plays that did not work out, and they stuck with him, and he stuck with it, and he definitely deserves the highest quality and lowest guaranteed prices of Idaho's Diamond Source, Direct Diamond Imports.
We'll be back with more. You're listening to the Bronco Postgame Show, brought to you by Syringa Bank.
Hey, welcome back to the Bronco Motors Hyundai Nissan postgame sponsor on the All-State Bronco Sports Network. BSU head football coach Chris Peterson going to be brought to you by Clearwater Mortgage. Mortgage too high? Call Clearwater Mortgage for low-rate loans and go with the #1 mortgage broker in Idaho.
I think our players, they're warriors. They never quit. I knew they wouldn't quit at the very end. I knew we had to get a break or 2. And I thought our coaches did a fabulous job. Both the coordinators, Brian Harsin and Justin Wilcox, were very, very good tonight.
Front right. Chris, how many times had you practiced the Statue of Liberty play, and had you ever run it in a game before?
Yeah, we ran it once this season, and it worked pretty well. And we were trying to get to it earlier, to tell you the truth. And we needed it on a certain hash, or at least in the middle of the field. And the 3 times we were trying to get to it earlier, we were on the wrong side of the field and couldn't get it done. And it's probably a good thing because we needed a play like that to get it over with.
Front left.
Coach, what was in your decision-making there to go for two at that point and get it over with?
Well, they're so big and strong and physical that, the first overtime didn't go so well. I mean, one play and they were in the end zone. So we liked the play that we had for a 2-point conversion, and it really wasn't a difficult decision at that point.
Here in the center.
Coach, the play calls by Coach Harsin.
Yeah.
Any doubts when he's calling these plays time after time after time there down the stretch?
No, he's done a great job. He's done a great job all year. I mean, you don't get to where we are without, some great coaching, and certainly you got to have the players. And we've said we had those all along, and the coaching was fabulous.
Please direct your question to anyone at the stage.
Coach, of the three kind of trick plays, which one was kind of the most leery of?
Well, the one that was obviously had the most luck involved, that we had to have everything just right, was the one where we pitched it for Gerard Rabb to score. We had Ian coming out of the backfield, too, as another option guy. So when Gerard got tackled, he could pitch it to him. But there was a clean lane, and so he just took off and went and outran Ian even. So it was... I didn't know Rabb had that much speed. That was good to see. He saved it for a good time.
Here in the front.
Coach, they returned the interception on you. What's going through your head on the sidelines at that point?
Well, we still had a bunch of time left, and we practice our 2-minute drill about 2 or 3 times every week, and we've been doing it forever. So I knew we'd have a shot to get back down there, and we might not have had to make it such a circus of a play had we not gotten sacked earlier. That really takes you out of any sort of normal play calling. So we put ourselves behind the 8 ball and then had to pull the old rabbit out of the hat.
You're in the front right.
With the hook and lateral play there, similar question. Is that something that you guys have had in the playbook the whole season?
Yeah, you hope you never have to call it because it's not a good situation. But we work on it every week, once a week on Friday, and the guys love it. We could probably practice it about 10 minutes because they love to half the time the linemen run down and get involved with the pitch. I'm lucky that they remembered that they actually can't go downfield on that pass.
Coach, can you talk about
something? It doesn't work in practice usually.
Not against our guys, yeah.
Sorry, Coach. Can you talk about Jared's composure after the late interception to rally the team to the victory?
Yeah, it was awesome. That's what it's all about. That's what a fifth-year senior quarterback needs to do to pull out a big win. And a lot of hard lessons he's learned through the years, which all great quarterbacks do. And, I think the biggest thing you learn is it's never over. You always got a chance, especially when you got the firepower that we have out wide.
Here in the front.
Coming into this is for Coach again. You guys have got so many questions of, do you guys belong here, all that kind of stuff. What's this game, what kind of statement did you make this game?
Well, we really felt like we belonged here all along. We really did. And, I think a lot of people felt like we belonged here. I think the Fiesta Bowl people felt like we belonged here. We wouldn't have been invited. But, hey, that's why you play the game. You got to go out there and prove it at all times.
Front left.
Jared, can you tell us how you feel right now and what this means to you to pull out this victory the way you did?
I feel great. I'm just so happy for my guys. This was an unbelievable game. This probably goes down in the history of college football as it can be argued as the best game ever. And to have that feeling that you pulled it off and your guys believed in you all the way to the end, it's just unbelievable.
Here in the front.
Jared, the same question. Talk about your composure after you throw the interception and then you have to lead them down the field. What was going through your head?
Well, a minute with 2 timeouts is a lot of time, and we've ran against our defense, who's very good at what you've seen tonight. And we scored in that 2-minute drill that we do faster than that. So anything can happen in a college football game. And, we knew that. And, after I threw that interception, I had probably 10 guys come up to me and say, there's a minute left. You can do it. And, we did it.
Here in the center.
This is for Corey. Defensively, the mindset, what did you guys have to do to keep in it after you'd held them at bay for so long, the offense, and then the points kind of just started pouring in there at the end?
At that point on defense, it's such a battle. We're just trying to keep our guys up. We kind of thought we gave the game away, and the offense ended up pulling us out there at the end. But I think, for our guys, we were just trying to, we knew we were still in the game, so we just had to keep battling.
Back center. Coach, 13-0 now. Do you guys print up national championship T-shirts, or you've done everything that they've asked you to, right?
Hey, we don't worry about that. We just go and play who they tell us to play, and the pollsters vote how they want to vote, and we're just happy to, control what we can control, and it is what it is.
Over in the left.
Coach, where does this game rank in games you've been associated with?
Yeah, it's pretty high. It was, it was just awesome to see those guys continue to compete. I think if there's one thing that we just talk about and preach and harp day in and day out is being a great competitor and just never saying die until that clock runs out. And I think you really saw it. Certainly we had to have a lot of luck and some breaks along the way there to get that done, but the kids continually fight and claw and scratch, and that's really what we want to be all about.
In the front right.
Yeah, for any of you guys, did you know that Ian Johnson proposed to his girlfriend right after the game, and does that surprise you in any way?
Well, I kind of heard, some rumors about him, maybe doing that after the game. I'm sure it probably wouldn't have been as romantic if we'd have lost, but I kind of looked at the big screen, and then I heard, the guy, doing the trophy presentation say that someone proposed. Kind of knew it was Ian, but it's great for him. Congratulations.
Anyone else want to answer that?
I came in with Ian freshman year, and he's a little different. He's a little different guy. So when you think about Ian Johnson proposing to his girlfriend, you got to think of the weirdest circumstance that he could possibly do, and I think this was it. So for me, it's it's shocking to hear that, but for Ian, that's just the normal thinking in his mind is to do that.
Here in the center.
Hey, Marty, can you talk about the plays you made tonight really changed the momentum of this game?
I asked Corey about one of them. Corey's the one who tipped that interception right into my chest. Otherwise, I'd make like a diving catch. I have pretty strong faith in God, and I believe that He has a strong will for all of us. I believe He blessed me tonight. I'm just very thankful and humbled by that. You also don't want to talk about the plays I didn't make, so I'm happy to talk about the two I did.
Could those start going any better for you guys? Corey, this is what you guys needed. The quick starts.
Yeah, I think that's one thing about our team. We knew we had to come out, and start fast right at the beginning of the game, and also, at second half, and that's what our coaches were preaching the whole time before the game and at halftime, and take your hats off to the players. They came out and and gave it everything they had.
Over on the left.
Marty, that first interception that you caught, if you don't make a play on that, it's a sure touchdown for Oklahoma. Talk about it.
I don't know. I made the play. They ran a weird formation that we didn't see. They lined guys up in a different spot, and they ran a quick count too. So the coverage we had totally blew, and I was just post defender. I saw him open. The quarterback underthrew it a little bit, and I was glad that I was in front of that guy because he's huge and he's very tall. I'm glad I didn't have to go for a jump ball with him. But like I said, I truly believe God has control of my life, and that's the reason it happened.
Here in the front right.
Jared, if you could just tell us what the huddle was like when you called the hook and lateral, and then the reaction as you watched it unfold.
Well, I think everybody thought about their assignment and did that to the fullest. Schumann was running in off the sideline to be our tailback, and that play is designed for the tailback to get down the field. And was
the one before. That was just the streak before.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ian was in there.
Ian, okay. Yeah, because I remember seeing
seconds right there.
Yeah, I remember seeing Ian running in front of me. But the play's designed, I throw it to the single receiver side, and the guy, the number 2 receiver on the strong side, runs his crossing route like we did, and then Ian's there for a pitch, and then I'm there for another pitch, and I was just trying to get down there so I could get in the play, but Rab, he put the wheels on me, and I'm glad he did.
Any further questions? Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
All right, we are back once again. Jared Zabransky, Corey Hall, and head coach Chris Peterson answering reporters' questions. And Max Corbett is up there now just trying to grab a little camera time, so we won't play him. The Idaho Transportation Department sub of the game. Well, we kind of, our sub of the game and our diamond in the rough player of the game, the same guy, I think, is Vinny Peretta. A guy who doesn't have great numbers, but took a direct snap, threw a touchdown in overtime, and made a couple of great runs in overtime. I thought was instrumental for Boise
I'd give
State.
David Shields a runner-up because it was David that had to substitute for Kyle Ging and take a lot of snaps.
I think he started, though. I'm not sure he did, but I think he did. He was listed ahead of Ging as the starter.
You're right.
So I think he started. I'm not sure. Anyway, both of those guys are great. New Balance shoes are running stats for Boise State. Ian Johnson got us 100 yards. He 23 carries for 101 yards, an average of 4.4. He had a touchdown and, of course, a 2-point conversion. Jared Zabransky, 9 carries, 8 yards. Peretta, 2 for 2. Kyle Ging, 1 for -1 on the. I don't know when Ging carried the ball. When did he? That's
must have been on a return of some type.
Yeah, because he didn't play most of the game after he got hurt.
They may have made a typo. I don't remember Kyle Ging rushing.
Yeah, they made a mistake. I'm not sure that that's true. Oklahoma, Adrian Peterson, 20 carries, 77 yards, 2 touchdowns, a touchdown on his last play probably in collegiate ball, 25-yarder.
No, I think Chris Peterson called it. That's why he went for 2. He could see there was no gas in the tank on either side of the – well, maybe offense had some, but defense certainly was done.
Yeah, they were indeed. Patrick Allen, 11 for 61, and Paul Thompson, 7 for 36. Those running stats brought to you by New Balance Shoes. Shoes in multiple widths and sizes located at Eagle Road, McMillan. Call them at 939-SHOE. Serving the Treasure Valley for 50 years. Our upcoming opponent, that'd be Weber State at this point in time. They'll be coming up bright and early next year. The Weber State Wildcats, one AA team out of the Big Sky Conference. Final stats.
That could be changed.
Yeah, that could be changed, and we think it might be changed. And I think this would make it perhaps be changed. And if we had to predict anything, we would predict Boise State Rutgers sometime in August. But we're not in the predicting business, so we won't do that.
Really?
Yeah. The final stats brought to you by Farmers Insurance. For all your insurance need, Farmers get you back where you belong. Total offense for Boise State, 65 plays, 377 yards. For Oklahoma, 70 plays, 407 yards. The Broncos, 35 rushes for 110. Oklahoma, 38 for 174. The Broncos passed for 267. OU, 233. Broncos ended up possessing it for 41.48 seconds, and Oklahoma 33.12. So the Bronco defense got a little rest in the second half. That hardly seems possible. The Broncos lost 2 fumbles. OU won. 3 interceptions by Oklahoma, 1 by Boise State. You called it. You said if Oklahoma turns it over, if we can force them somehow, some way to turn it over 4 times, we can win. Did, and we did.
Yeah, I think there was a lot of keys that came true in this game, although at the end of the day, Oklahoma didn't run all over Boise State.
They did not.
I thought Adrian Peterson would get his yards, and he didn't, but BSU got their turnovers, and they also had 3 of their own, which is highly unusual, but there was a lot of things unusual about this game.
Yeah, heck of a ball game. Closing thoughts brought to you by Title I, 5 offices strong in the Treasure Valley. There's a difference at Title I. Magic season, 13-0, probably be ranked in the top 5, I would think.
I don't think there's any reason that there shouldn't be. I'll tell you what my final thought is. Tara, if you're back there, I got to hear that final call. I mean, you want to hear some emotions that were everybody in this room. This really epitomizes probably, Tam Schneider, Tim Wold, Chris Walton was in here. Poor Jody Stewart probably had a baby.
His wife did anyway.
She didn't.
Pushing harder now, and helping Ian Johnson over the goal line. I don't know who. I've never, probably lost that much emotion at one time. But
that was an emotional ball game, and such a historical ball game for Boise State because, this was the national stage that they've craved, and they won. They beat Oklahoma. Nobody thought they would.
And I think you made a good point because I tried to bring up the fact that other WAC teams, Fresno State and Louisiana Tech specifically, have been giant killers and have won some BCS opponents' games. They've beaten Miami, or they've come close to beating Southern Cal, or beaten other teams
not
in
the
BCS. But you're right, not in the bowl games, not on this stage, and not this kind of a bowl game. So it is easily the most significant victory in the history of non-BCS conferences, for whatever that's worth for them. But for Boise State, I think they'll
maybe
probably...
the door was pushed open a little wider today. Right?
It's got to be. There's no question that there's recruiters all over the country saying, hey, it can happen to you. You can happen at our school. I'm sure that those suites and that stadium is going to be expanded faster than ever. And it's just really something to be a part of. And I hope people enjoy it and really understand the work that goes behind it and the people who worked hard to get it there. And
the things that had to fall in place for it to happen.
Yeah,
had to be skill, had to be coaching, had to be luck. And let's listen now to the two-point conversion.
That's my final thought.
One more time.
Take it away, Paul J.
Boise State out of the huddle, trailing 42-41, going for a two-point conversion from the 3-yard line. And it's a fake play, and they're going to score! Ian Johnson! They rolled the ball to Ian Johnson, and he scored! They left it down on the field. Zabransky faked the pass. Johnson picked up the ball and ran it in for a touchdown. And the Broncos have won the Fiesta Bowl. Can you believe it? Boise State on a trick play, another trick play. Zabransky faked the pass, the ball on the ground, picked up by Ian Johnson. In he goes for 2, and the Broncos are the Fiesta Bowl champions. They are 13-0, and Boise State 13-0 on the season, and they'll be a top 5 team at the end of the year, and they have defeated the Oklahoma Sooners in an absolute genius coaching job by Chris Peterson.